Chapter 3241, The Power of the Five Elements will not exist here. The great battle had stopped at some unknown time. The dragon race quickly gathered together, with the 6 great elders' dragon eyes looking gloomy. They had realized they had fallen into a trap set up jointly by the Buddhist clan and insect race. Now, they were trapped here, and it would be very difficult to escape. Especially that Buddha with 3 heads and 6 arms, his combat power was shockingly strong. A patch of dragon scales under one great elder's neck spontaneously combusted, instantly turning to ash. Amitabha, the 3 lives Buddha patriarch chanted a Buddha's name again. Great Elder Aoluo, your call for help will not have any effect. Since we can surround you here, naturally we have corresponding methods on the dragon race's side as well. The dragon race great elders' faces all changed drastically. Aoluo said in a low voice, it seems you've planned this for a long time. If I'm not mistaken, you should have already reached the pseudo-Great Tao realm, right? The 3 lives Buddha patriarch said softly. Great Elder Aoluo has keen insight. However, this Buddha patriarch's realm is not the pseudo-Great Tao realm you speak of, but the 9-wheel unified realm. The legendary realm in Buddhist lore, 9 wheels unified. However, the 3 lives Buddha patriarch's 9 wheels unification was not yet truly complete. In legend, when truly unified, only one color would remain. Now the 3 lives Buddha patriarch had only completed half. The 9 wheels were indeed unified, but the colors inside were still 9 different ones. In Lin Moyu's view, the so-called 9 wheels unification was just the Great Tao realm. Now that he had completed half, it was indeed the pseudo-Great Tao realm. Though the inheritances were different, the end point was the same, ultimately all returning to the Great Tao. Great Elder Aoluo said in a low voice, you think our dragon race is so easy to bully? Even if you've reached the so-called 9 wheels unification, so what? Do you believe this old one can tear all your wheels to shreds? The 3 lives Buddha patriarch said softly, the dragon race has many secret techniques. Perhaps you really do have countermeasures. But there's a human saying this Buddha patriarch deeply agrees with, might makes right. No matter how many secret techniques and treasures your dragon race has, right now this seat's fist is simply harder than yours. This seat wants to establish a dragon congregation. Your dragon race can either support and join, or be erased from this world. The 3 lives Buddha patriarch was no longer pretending, laying his cards on the table. The reason was the 5 insect queens, they were already impatient. The insect race was extremely warlike. Being able to hold back from attacking until now was already giving face to the Buddhist clan. The 3 lives Buddha patriarch also planned to end this quickly, to avoid unforeseen developments. He formed a lotus seal with his hand, and a beam of Buddhist light shot towards the sky, then exploded. The Buddhist light was like a signal to start the battle. The insect queens attacked first. Dense swarms of insects rushed to kill the dragon race. Each insect was over 3 meters tall, with a pair of claws like huge knives, extremely sharp. When the insect race moved, it was like a tidal wave surging over, blotting out the sky. At the same time, all the ancient Buddhas except the 3 lives Buddha patriarch attacked simultaneously. Vast Buddhist light descended from the sky, materializing numerous golden Buddha statues in the air. The golden Buddhas either punched or palm struck, and some brandished Buddhist treasures. Endless attacks enveloped the dragon race. Dragon God's protection, Great Elder Aoluo roared angrily. Led by him, the gathered dragons all raised their heads and roared to the sky. Waves of dragon roars echoed across the heavens. All the dragon's power gathered together, forming a divine dragon of myriad colors between heaven and earth. The divine dragon opened its eyes, shooting out brilliant light. Wherever the light reached, space shattered, as if the entire western paradise of ultimate bliss was about to collapse. Lin Moyu's gaze focused. He recognized the illusion the dragons had condensed. It was the dragon god he had seen in the small world. At that time, his understanding of the world was limited, and he didn't know the dragon god's true realm. Now it seemed the dragon god was at least in the Great Tao realm. Now the gathered dragons had combined their power to summon a projection of the dragon god. Just this projection's power surpassed the 9th level Tao Venerable realm. So the dragon god himself must be at least in the Great Tao realm. The dragon god's gaze swept across the battlefield. Wherever it passed, fists, palms and magical treasures all shattered. The insect swarm lost over a third of its numbers just from being swept by his gaze. Many golden Buddha statues collapsed, and quite a few ancient Buddhas grunted and spat blood. The 3 lives Buddha patriarch moved again. Of his 3 heads and 6 arms, the left head spoke, "Since ancient times, the time here should not be in the present." Time instantly distorted. A river of time appeared, more brilliant than the Milky Way, scattering boundless radiance. Large areas of space-time distorted. The dragon god's projection became illusory in the time distortion, finally disappearing. The dragon god was in the present, but the river of time forcibly pulled this space into the past. Even though it only distorted a tiny bit, just a few minutes, it was enough to make the dragon god's projection collapse in the chaos. The Time Great Tao. Lin Moyu discovered that the Great Tao the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch cultivated was actually the Time Great Tao. Moreover, his comprehension of the Time Great Tao was much higher than Lin Moyu's. At least Lin Moyu currently couldn't distort time. His ability to cultivate the 3 lives secret technique must have had a lot to do with the Time Great Tao. Perhaps the 3 lives secret technique is related to the Time Great Tao. If so, he should be cultivating other Great Taos as well. Lin Moyu muttered in his heart as he watched the show. He would enter the fray, but it wasn't time yet. The dragon race clearly still had trump cards, and the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch also had trump cards. He wanted to let both sides show their hands so he could get a better grasp of the situation. With the dragon god's projection gone, the insect queens charged forward with piercing shrieks. The insect race was the most warlike, the dragon god's projection couldn't scare them at all. Aoluo spat out a dragon pearl covered in profound runes. The dragon pearl flashed in the air, turning into a blazing sun that covered heaven and earth. In an instant, endless flames fell from the sky. The fire Great Tao appeared in the sky, and the entire western paradise of ultimate bliss was instantly engulfed in a sea of fire. The flames were like meteors. The insect queens shuttled through the sea of fire, charging forward while enduring the flames. The flaming meteors kept exploding but couldn't stop them. Another dragon race elder took out a ring-shaped treasure. The treasure instantly enlarged, becoming a huge ring expanding outwards with overwhelming force. Boom! Several insect queens were knocked back by the ring treasure, unable to advance. The dragon race not only had many secret techniques, but also many magical treasures. Fighting the dragon race was definitely not an easy task. The right head of the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch spoke again, "Without the future, all is unknown, all is illusory." The river of time appeared again. Silver light covered the fire Great Tao, and wherever the silver light passed, all flames disappeared. The time here became future time. The flames were in the present and could not exist. That ring-shaped treasure was also affected. After resisting for several seconds, it was withdrawn. Though the river of time didn't have a direct killing effect, its restrictive effect was extremely powerful. Lin Moyu looked at the river of time and saw an old acquaintance in it. The spirit of the river of time, they had met once before in the great world. But that old acquaintance had been scared away by his calamity scepter. Thinking of this, Lin Moyu felt more confident. If the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch dared use the river of time against him, he guaranteed he could scare him to death. The dragon race elders' expressions became increasingly grim. The 3 lives Buddha Patriarch's river of time restricted them too severely. The insect queens led the insect swarm to attack again. The dragons had experience dealing with the insect race, the key was to not let them get close. The insect queen's greatest strength was close combat. Aoluo withdrew the first dragon pearl, then spat out another. 4 other dragon race elders also spat out dragon pearls. The 5 dragon pearls each possessed one of the 5 elements' attributes. The 5 elements generate and restrain each other. When the 5 powers work together, their power will greatly increase. The middle head of the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch now spoke, "The ancient has passed, the future has not come. In the present world, this Buddha should be supreme. Under this Buddha, the power of the 5 elements shall not exist here." Chapter 3242, 3242. Chapter 3242, Layman Lin, you should think carefully. As if the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch's words became reality, all the power of the 5 elements in the entire western paradise of ultimate bliss was dispersed without a trace. Not only was the power of the 5 elements dispersed, even the 5 elements' great Tao disappeared without a trace. In this instant, this realm seemed to have lost the 5 elements' great Tao. The dragon pearls spat out by the 5 dragon race elders immediately lost their effect. Lin Moyu frowned, "What kind of technique is this?" Lu Shudao said softly, "This is one of Buddhism's supreme secret techniques, prohibition law." I didn't expect he had cultivated the prohibition law to this level. Lin Moyu asked, can it prohibit everything? Lu Shudao shook his head, not necessarily. It depends on strength and realm. Not everything can be prohibited. That made sense. If everything could be prohibited, wouldn't that be invincible? Lin Moyu felt that great Daos certainly couldn't be prohibited. Those half-real, half-illusory ones probably couldn't be prohibited either. Some concrete great Daos might be able to be prohibited, but not necessarily all of them. However, being able to prohibit the 5 elements great Dao was already a huge blow to the dragon race. The 5 elements great Dao was the dragon race's main cultivation path. Once prohibited, their combat power would be greatly reduced. It could be said that every move of the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch had the dragon race firmly under control. Several dragon race elders had scales fall off and fly out, transforming into various weapons. Now the insect queens had led the insect swarm to attack. No matter what, they had to hold them off first. Great Elder Ao Luo shouted fiercely, hold off the insect race. Then he said to the elders beside him, summon the dragon god's avatar. Although the Buddhist clan hadn't made their move yet, the situation was already very bad. If they didn't use some trump cards, by the time the Buddhist clan really attacked, they might not be able to use their trump cards. Strike first to gain the advantage. The dragon race elders weren't fools. Without objection, 3 great elders simultaneously offered up dragon pearls. Scales fell from their necks and spontaneously combusted. The dragon pearls flashed brightly, converging into one. At this moment, the lotus flower under the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch's feet shone brilliantly. The entire Western paradise of ultimate bliss suddenly rumbled. The origin spirit veins all activated at once. Vast origin power rose up like thick fog. The 3 lives Buddha Patriarch said in a low voice, isolate. With a hum, this realm suddenly became extremely quiet. After the dragon scales burned, the dragon pearls had no reaction at all, as if nothing had happened. The great Dao still existed. It seemed nothing had changed, but Lin Moyu knew it was already different. At least the dragon race could no longer contact the dragon god, and the god could not send down an avatar. The Buddhist clan was fully prepared. Every step was aimed at the dragon race. They were determined to destroy the dragon race, make the surviving dragons join the Buddhist clan's dragon congregation, and thereby obtain the dragon race's vast destiny. Step-by-step calculation. So far, it had all succeeded. Moreover, the Buddhist clan was doing this openly and above board. The Lufan Chamber of Commerce watched from the side, and they didn't care. As long as they succeeded in the end, no matter what anyone said, they could disregard it. Thick skin was also a characteristic of the Buddhist clan. The dragon race elders' faces looked extremely grim, and they were also somewhat anxious. Every move they made was countered and targeted. They had no way out at all. In this situation, they were at a complete disadvantage. Just the insect queens and insect swarm were enough to give them a hard time, not to mention all these Buddhas eyeing them covetously. Obviously the Buddhist clan didn't want to act immediately. They clearly hoped the dragon race and insect race would fight for a while, preferably both suffering heavy losses, so they could reap the benefits. Once the dragon race fought desperately, the Buddhist clan would definitely have to pay some price. And this price was better paid by the insect race. After all, the insect race and dragon race were mortal enemies. They would fight to the death on sight. With the insect race's intelligence, they wouldn't think of these things at all. Lin Moyu watched the show. The Buddhist clan wasn't in a hurry, so he wasn't either. After a while, many dragons were killed or injured. Some lower realm dragons all retreated. But the insect race didn't care at all. They seemed to have no fear of death. The insect swarm also suffered heavy casualties, but the insect queens would occasionally retreat, transform, and spit out more crystal insects. They could produce large numbers of insects. No matter how many of those produced insects died, they wouldn't feel heartache. This was the structure of the insect race. The insect queens were the only intelligent beings. The rest of the produced insects were just combat tools. The insect queens repeatedly replenished the insect swarm's numbers. The dragon race's side was suffering increasingly heavy casualties. Lin Moyu noticed that the insect queens couldn't produce insects infinitely. The number they produced each time was decreasing. If this continued, before long, the insect swarm would be exhausted too. But by then, the dragon race's casualties would be even higher. That's about enough, Lin Moyu said softly. He saw that about half the dragon race elders were already injured. The Buddhist clan's Buddhas were also starting to stir, ready to act at any moment. If he waited until the Buddhist clan made their move before appearing, it would be a bit too late. The time wings spread. Lin Moyu charged into the western paradise of ultimate bliss at top speed. His appearance immediately drew others' attention. A 7-wheel ancient Buddha blocked Lin Moyu's path. Is your Lufin Chamber of Commerce going to interfere too? Lin Moyu had been with the Lufin Chamber of Commerce people before, so they mistakenly thought Lin Moyu was also from the Lufin Chamber of Commerce. It was precisely because of this that they didn't attack Lin Moyu, as they didn't want to offend the Lufin Chamber of Commerce. Lin Moyu didn't answer. His time wings suddenly shook, his speed abruptly increasing. He bypassed the Buddha and directly entered the battlefield. The Buddhas didn't have much reaction to Lin Moyu's arrival. After all, he was just a little third-level Dao Venerable. What could he do by coming? He couldn't affect the overall situation. Lin Moyu arrived on the battlefield and said to the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch, "Human Lin Moyu greets the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch." The Three Lives Buddha Patriarch looked at him and said softly, "Layman Lin is not from the Lufin Chamber of Commerce." Most people in the Lufin Chamber of Commerce had the surname Lu, but not all. The Three Lives Buddha Patriarch was just asking to be sure. Lin Moyu said, "Lin is not from the Lufin Chamber of Commerce, just acquainted with the three ancestors." The Three Lives Buddha Patriarch said in a deep voice, "For layman Lin to know the three ancestors, you must be young and promising. What business brings layman Lin here?" Lin Moyu said, "Lin came here for two things. First is to ask Green Lamp Ancient Buddha for the Hell Fragment. Of course, I won't take it for free. Lin will exchange this 7 treasures pagoda for it. Second is to ask Yellow Eyebrow Ancient Buddha for a treasure. This treasure fell into Yellow Eyebrow Buddha's nation 10 years ago. Lin has already been to Yellow Eyebrow Buddha's nation and confirmed this treasure is in Yellow Eyebrow Ancient Buddha's hands. To be precise, it's in Yellow Eyebrow Ancient Buddha's Buddha seed bag. This treasure belongs to Lin's friend. I want to ask Yellow Eyebrow Ancient Buddha to return it. Of course, Lin won't take it for free either. Whatever conditions Yellow Eyebrow Ancient Buddha has, he can name them. As long as they're not too excessive, Lin can satisfy them." The Three Lives Buddha Patriarch looked at Lin Moyu. "Can layman Lin's matters wait until after we finish our business with the dragon race to discuss?" Lin Moyu shook his head. "No, Lin wants them now." The Three Lives Buddha Patriarch said softly, "Why is layman Lin in such a hurry?" Lin Moyu said, "It's not hurry, but that now is a good opportunity. The Buddha Patriarch can consider Lin to be taking advantage of the situation to cause trouble, it doesn't matter. Lin has also thought that after your matter is concluded, Lin's matter probably won't be possible anymore. So Lin Moyu can only ask now. Now, immediately." The Three Lives Buddha Patriarch's tone suddenly changed. He heard that Lin Moyu's intentions were not good. The exchange was false, the trouble was real. But Lin Moyu was merely a third-level Dao Venerable. Who gave him this courage? The Three Lives Buddha Patriarch's tone became unfriendly. "Layman Lin, you should think carefully." Chapter 3243, 3243. Chapter 3243, Layman Lin, you have already fallen into demon ways. Because of the three ancestors' relationship, even though Lin Moyu was just a small third-level Dao Venerable, the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch didn't want to easily offend him. If it were someone else, they would have been killed with one slap long ago. A third-level Dao Venerable didn't even qualify to enter the Western Paradise of Ultimate Bliss. Lin Moyu smiled and said, Lin just came to make 2 deals. If the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch can agree to Lin's deals, Lin will leave without another word. The Three Lives Buddha Patriarch said softly, "The Three Ancestors is a businessman. Deals are based on willingness." Lin Moyu shook his head, "I'm not the Three Ancestors. Sometimes, I prefer to buy and sell by force." Actually by this point, Lin Moyu already knew that the Hell Fragment in the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch's hands was no longer with him. Lin Moyu could see that when the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch looked at the 7 treasures pagoda, his eyes were full of desire. He clearly wanted to obtain the 7 treasures pagoda very much, but couldn't produce the Hell Fragment. Where would the Hell Fragment go? The result was obvious. Lin Moyu knew he had guessed correctly. The Hell Fragment should have already been given to the Netherworld race. Seeing the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch not speaking, Lin Moyu sighed helplessly, "It seems this deal can't be made. If I haven't guessed wrong, Buddha Patriarch should have given the Hell Fragment to the Netherworld race." The Three Lives Buddha Patriarch's face suddenly changed. His 3 pairs of Buddha eyes stared fixedly at Lin Moyu, as if asking, "How do you know?" Lin Moyu shook his head, "Your expression is very good, telling the real answer. It seems that although you've cultivated for many years, your Buddha heart is not as good as the 3 ancestors. You can't even keep your emotions from showing on your face. The all is emptiness that Buddhists always have on their lips, you must have cultivated it into a dog's belly." Mocked by Lin Moyu sentence after sentence, the 3 Lives Buddha patriarch became angry. "Layman Lin, you have already fallen into demon ways." Lin Moyu laughed heartily, "You say I've fallen into demon ways. Next you're going to subdue demons and eliminate evil, right? You Buddhists, always trying to put a good spin on whatever you do. We humans have a saying for this kind of behavior, being a whore while trying to erect a chastity arch. This is also why I don't like you very much. The more I interact with you, the more hypocritical I find you. Actually, if you want to do something, just do it directly. No need to find so many excuses. For example, if I can't get the hell fragment, then you can forget about wiping out the dragon race." The 3 Lives Buddha patriarch chanted a Buddha's name, Amitabha. Since Layman Lin refuses to turn back, this Buddha patriarch can only send Layman Lin off. The 3 Lives Buddha patriarch finally made a decision to kill Lin Moyu. No matter what relationship Lin Moyu had with the 3 ancestors, it wasn't as important as the current big matter. As the 3 Lives Buddha patriarch had killing intent, a nearby 8-wheel ancient Buddha suddenly attacked, a beam of Buddhist light turning into a blade shooting towards Lin Moyu like a meteor. Lin Moyu chuckled lightly, his time wings shook gently, breaking the soul lock, and he quickly retreated to avoid the attack. The next second, the space beside him distorted. Su Ku appeared beside Lin Moyu holding the cloud-piercing sword. With the 5 elements Great Tao sealed, Su Ku's golden fire Great Tao was also affected, slightly weakening his combat power. But he was still much stronger than an 8-wheel ancient Buddha. Su Ku counterattacked with the cloud-piercing sword. Immediately a 9-wheel ancient Buddha acted to block Su Ku. The 3 Lives Buddha patriarch said with some surprise, "Someone from the Celestial Fox clan." He could see that Su Ku was from the Celestial Fox clan. A 9th level Tao Venerable from the Celestial Fox clan appearing here, did this also mean the beast race was getting involved? Lin Moyu chuckled lightly, "Yes." Space distorted again, and many war beasts appeared between heaven and earth. These were war beasts killed in the ancient war secret realm, all at the 7th level Tao Venerable realm. After being killed, most became revenants. A small portion of their corpses were left behind, becoming excellent materials for corpse explosion techniques. On the battlefield, hundreds of 7th level Tao Venerable war beasts suddenly appeared. They charged recklessly across the battlefield, forming a terrifying force. In the Western paradise of ultimate bliss, there weren't even 100 7-wheel ancient Buddhas. The dragon race's side only had a few dozen 7th level Tao Venerables. Added together, they weren't as numerous as the war beasts. The war beasts formed a beast tide. The 7-wheel ancient Buddhas couldn't stop them at all. Lower than 7-wheel ancient Buddhas hurriedly dodged. The war beasts had thick skin and flesh. Various Buddhist techniques landing on them could hardly hurt them. The 5 elements Great Tao being isolated here affected not just the dragon race. Some ancient Buddhas who cultivated the 5 elements Great Tao were also affected. The Buddhist clan's encirclement was deformed by the war beast's charge. The dragon race Great Elders' eyes showed surprise. They seemed to see an opportunity. "Stop them," the 3 Lives Buddha patriarch spoke. Finally a 9-wheel ancient Buddha led the charge, joining forces with several 8-wheel ancient Buddhas to act together, finally stopping the war beast group. Another 9-wheel ancient Buddha attacked Lin Moyu. A wooden fish in his hand transformed into a giant shark, lunging at Lin Moyu with bared teeth and claws. They felt that as long as they killed Lin Moyu, they could set things right. "Be careful," Ao Luo shouted. A dragon scale flew out, turning into a shield that blocked the shark. Lin Moyu looked at that 9-wheel ancient Buddha and chuckled, "I'll start with you." Some fragments appeared in his palm. These fragments came from Withering and Flourishing Elder's avatar. At that time, the Beast Emperor had smashed Withering and Flourishing Elder's avatar to powder, but before that, some severed limbs had been preserved by Lin Moyu. Withering and Flourishing Elder's avatar was a top 9th level Tao Venerable, and a plant-based being with extremely powerful vitality. Using it to blow up cultivators of the same realm was guaranteed to work every time. However, to be on the safe side, Lin Moyu also used a drop of Ancestor Water. Ancestor Water. The 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch let out a low cry. He recognized ancestor water and knew how precious it was. Lin Moyu using it like this was extremely extravagant. Lin Moyu raised his hand, pointing at the 9-wheel ancient Buddha who had attacked him. The 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch suddenly shouted fiercely, "Stop! Be careful! Stop!" was shouted at Lin Moyu, while, "Be careful!" was shouted at that 9-wheel ancient Buddha. That 9-wheel ancient Buddha also sensed something was wrong. His face changed drastically as he quickly retreated. Lin Moyu said softly, "Too late." Corpse explosion. Boom. A violent explosion bloomed like fireworks, except what exploded wasn't brilliant fireworks but Buddha's golden blood. 9 wheels shattered. An ancient Buddha who had cultivated for hundreds of thousands of years fell here. The whole process happened in an instant. All the ancient Buddhas stared blankly at this scene, their eyes full of disbelief. A 9-wheel ancient Buddha at the pinnacle of the world had died so easily. Amidst the flying flesh and blood, Lin Moyu casually collected a piece of shattered flesh, shaking his head, "What a pity. There weren't enough 9-wheel ancient Buddhas to begin with. Losing one was enough to make the Buddhist clan ache for many years." Well killed. Ao Luo suddenly laughed loudly. They were now mortal enemies with the Buddhist clan. The more miserable the Buddhist clan was, the happier he was. The 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch's anger soared, "You're seeking death." Lin Moyu looked at the 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch, "Want to kill me? Then do it." The 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch chanted a Buddha's name. His left head murmured softly, "Since ancient times, the person before me should not exist in the present." The power of the Time Great Tao fell, locking onto Lin Moyu. The 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch was about to use the power of the Time Great Tao to erase Lin Moyu from the current world. Chapter 3244, 3244. Chapter 3244, Why don't you make your move? Lin Moyu's cultivation time was still short, and he couldn't deceive the 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch. The 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch used the Time Great Tao to reverse time, which could make Lin Moyu's time flow backwards, thereby erasing his existence. Even if he couldn't be erased completely, Lin Moyu's cultivation realm could be reduced. The power of the Time Great Tao rolled down, and the river of time appeared in the sky again. To erase Lin Moyu, the 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch summoned the river of time once more. Time Great Tao, sorry, I know it too. Lin Moyu chuckled lightly, his body becoming half real and half illusory, directly manifesting the Time Great Tao. To counter the Time Great Tao, the best method was to use the Time Great Tao. Lin Moyu knew his comprehension of the Time Great Tao wasn't as good as the 3 Lives Buddha Patriarchs, but it was enough to resist for a while. Seeing the Time Great Tao surge from Lin Moyu's body as well, the 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch couldn't help but reveal a shocked expression. The Time Great Tao wasn't something you could comprehend just because you wanted to. Those who could comprehend it were all true geniuses. As their Time Great Taos clashed, the effect wasn't good. But the next second, another power appeared on Lin Moyu's body, a power the 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch had never seen before and couldn't recognize. This power was ethereal and indescribable. The power of illusion. The 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch was extremely shocked. Besides possessing the Time Great Tao, Lin Moyu actually had the power of illusion too. 2 invisible swords appeared in Lin Moyu's hands, the Destiny Sword and the Destiny Poison Sword. Both swords flew out simultaneously, landing on the 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch. The 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch's body suddenly shook. Though he wasn't injured, he felt like he had lost something very important, and his power had weakened. The next second, he understood what Lin Moyu had done. "You actually reduced my destiny." The 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch shouted fiercely. All the Buddhist clan's schemes were ultimately for the dragon race's destiny. Destiny was intangible yet extremely important. In any era, those with weak destiny couldn't go far. As long as one's destiny was strong enough, even with poor talent, one would encounter lucky chances to change fate. He needed vast amounts of destiny to truly enter the 9 Wheels unified realm. The dragon race had people in the Great Tao beyond the sky, their destiny was strong enough, and there were no Great Tao realm powerhouses stationed on the origin continent. That's why the 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch had set his sights on the dragon race. But now, Lin Moyu was actually reducing his destiny. This had touched his reverse scale, making him even angrier than killing a 9-wheel ancient Buddha. Lin Moyu said softly, "Not just reducing your destiny. I'll reduce the Buddhist clan's destiny too." The Destiny Sword condensed again, slashing towards the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch repeatedly. The Destiny Sword couldn't be dodged. Though the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch couldn't see destiny, he felt his destiny being continuously weakened. He was extremely angry. His left, middle, and right mouths shouted in unison, "Summon the spirit of time." A figure appeared in the river of time. The figure was the spirit of time, also called the Time Lord. It was a terrifying existence that managed the river of time. Its realm and power were unknowable. The 3 lives Buddha Patriarch summoned it to borrow its power and completely erase Lin Moyu. Even though Lin Moyu also comprehended the Time Great Tao, his Time Great Tao was useless against the spirit of time. The spirit of time's voice was ethereal. "Why have you summoned me?" The 3 lives Buddha Patriarch said, "I beseech the spirit of time to erase this youth." The spirit of time looked towards Lin Moyu following the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch's indication. Lin Moyu also looked at the spirit of time. Under everyone's shocked gazes, Lin Moyu waved at the spirit of time, "Long time no see." The spirit of time looked at Lin Moyu, hesitated for 2 seconds, then let out a scream, "How can it be you?" As the words fell, the spirit of time shattered like a bubble, disappearing without a trace. Not only did the spirit of time disappear, but the river of time vanished instantly too. The spirit of time had actually run away. The 3 lives Buddha Patriarch stared blankly at this scene, somewhat disbelieving. The spirit of time he had summoned with great difficulty had actually run away with the river of time. It was clearly scared away by Lin Moyu. But how could a mere 3rd level Tao Venerable scare away the spirit of time? Even he had to be extremely polite and respectful when facing the spirit of time. Could he be the Lord of the Time Great Tao? In the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch's eyes, perhaps only the Lord of the Time Great Tao could be on equal footing with the spirit of time. Lin Moyu looked at the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch, "Do you have any more tricks? If not, then I'll continue." He slowly raised his hand again, pointing at another 9-wheel ancient Buddha. There were only 4 9-wheel ancient Buddhas present. After Lin Moyu killed one, only 3 remained. The moment Lin Moyu raised his hand, the 3 9-wheel ancient Buddhas retreated as if they had seen a ghost, instantly leaving the battlefield. Not only did the 9-wheel ancient Buddhas retreat, but the other ancient Buddhas also retreated. No one wanted to become Lin Moyu's target. They felt that even facing the war beast group was much better than facing Lin Moyu. As they retreated, the encirclement immediately became useless. If the dragon race wanted to escape now, even the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch could only stop some of them. But the dragon race didn't flee. They wouldn't leave now. If they left now, it would be completely offending Lin Moyu. Aoluo stopped all the restless clan members who wanted to escape. They indeed didn't flee, but the insect race wouldn't think that way. The insect swarms quickly came over, wanting to fill the positions vacated by the ancient Buddhas. Among those present, if anyone most wanted the dragon race to die, it would certainly be the insect race. Lin Moyu said softly, "You're too noisy." With a wave of his hand, 4 array discs flew out. The array discs expanded, and the space-rending killing array instantly formed. In an instant, the space-rending killing array displayed terrifying destructive power. Countless space blades swept out, shattering space, cutting the entire space into pieces as if it were cloth. Countless insect warriors were cut to pieces by the space blades. The insect warriors had 6th level Tao Venerable combat power, but the space-rending killing array could kill 7th level Tao Venerable cultivators. Against the space blades of the space-rending killing array, the insect warriors were injured if grazed and died if touched. In just an instant, tens of thousands of insect warriors were killed. The insect queens screamed, targeting Lin Moyu and attacking. Aoluo shouted, "Stop them." Lin Moyu chuckled lightly. A drop of ancestor water flew from his fingertip, and at the same time his belief power burned fiercely. He pointed a finger at the insect queens. Origin level technique. Corpse explosion. Using the corpse of the 9-wheel ancient Buddha who had just been killed as material, he used corpse explosion again. Boom. With a huge sound, the insect queen who had just charged over had her body blown to pieces. Her soul flame quickly perished. The insect queen was killed instantly. Lin Moyu casually waved his hand, seemingly disdainful, but actually collected a piece of the insect queen's shattered flesh. At this, all the ancient Buddhas fell silent. The remaining 2 insect queens also quickly retreated. They were indeed warlike and unafraid of death. But that didn't mean they had no wisdom or would pointlessly go to their deaths. Lin Moyu looked at the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch, "Why don't you make your move?" Or is it that you can't move? Chapter 3245, 3245. Chapter 3245, it's only polite to reciprocate. Lin Moyu's words caused the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch's face to suddenly change color. Not just one head, but all three heads changed color simultaneously. Dangerous light flashed in his 6 eyes as they stared fixedly at Lin Moyu. His mouth was also chanting some unknown scripture. Behind him, the 9-colored light wheel was constantly interweaving, its colors becoming chaotic, no longer as orderly as before. Lin Moyu smiled and said, "It seems your self-control really isn't bad. You've cultivated to this level, yet you become so flustered just from having your root exposed." At this time, Ao Luo asked, "Friend Lin, can he really not make a move?" Lin Moyu smiled and said, "Of course not. After cultivating to this level with great difficulty, if he couldn't make a move, what would be the point of cultivating? He can't make a move only in some specific situations, like now. He prohibited the 5 elements Great Tao and used the river of time to restrict your techniques and treasures. As support, he's already very qualified. But once he personally enters the fray, he won't be able to maintain the restrictions on you. Think about it, if he personally made a move, you would all scatter. I estimate quite a few could escape. But with him standing here now, even if you want to use your techniques, you won't succeed. Because he has already sealed off the entire Western paradise of ultimate bliss. This place has already formed a world that you can enter but can't leave." Lin Moyu looked at the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch. "Three Lives Buddha Patriarch, do you think what I said is correct? The Buddhist clan claims not to speak false words, right? You should tell the truth." The Three Lives Buddha Patriarch stared fixedly at Lin Moyu. After a moment, he chanted a Buddha's name, Amitabha. What layman Lin said is correct. This Buddha Patriarch indeed cannot easily make a move, but this also doesn't mean this Buddha Patriarch is helpless against you all. Lin Moyu smiled and said, "You can try. If it doesn't work, then I won't be polite. I dare not say anything else, but killing another 1 or 2 9-wheel ancient Buddhas shouldn't be a problem for me." The Buddhist clan only had 4 9-wheel ancient Buddhas in total. One had already died. If a few more were killed, the Buddhist clan would be finished. The Three Lives Buddha Patriarch said softly, "I originally didn't want to use this treasure, but to subdue you demons, I have no choice but to use it." Lin Moyu smiled and said, "Don't say such things. It's disgusting to hear. Rest assured, no matter the outcome of today's events, the Lufan Chamber of Commerce will spread the word. Your Buddhist clan's reputation will be thoroughly ruined." "No, that's not right. Your Buddhist clan's reputation was already bad. Most human cultivators don't have a good impression of you, and the same goes for the beast race. Coincidentally, I also know the Beast Emperor. I'll have the Beast Emperor give you some good publicity later." In a war of words, even if the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch had more than 3 mouths, he was no match for Lin Moyu. The Three Lives Buddha Patriarch simply stopped talking. His 6 arms flashed with light simultaneously, and a rune flew out from each arm. These weren't ordinary runes, nor were they divine runes, but Buddhist scripts unique to the Buddhist clan. Buddhist scripts actually had traces of runes and could be considered improved versions of runes. The 6 Buddhist scripts collided, forming a ball of light. Within the light ball, a magical treasure slowly appeared. This treasure was a golden Buddha statue, about a meter tall, exquisitely crafted. The left and right heads of the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch chanted unknown runes, while the middle head spat out a mouthful of golden chi towards the golden Buddha statue. The aura of the golden Buddha statue grew stronger and stronger, reaching the 9th level Tao Venerable realm in the blink of an eye. Then, with a light sound, the golden Buddha statue broke through the 9th level Tao Venerable realm, reaching another realm. The golden Buddha statue awakened, slowly rising. Behind it appeared a 9-colored light wheel. It was identical to the 9-colored light wheel behind the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch, indicating that this golden Buddha statue had also reached the pseudo-9 wheels unified realm, equivalent to the human race's pseudo-great Tao realm. Lin Moyu smiled and said, "I didn't expect you to have such a trump card." Ao Luo looked at the awakened golden Buddha statue and suddenly said softly, "It's Void Thunder Ancient Buddha." As soon as he finished speaking, a bolt of lightning shot out from the 9-colored light wheel, enveloping the entire golden Buddha statue in lightning. Lin Moyu thought of the information about Void Thunder Ancient Buddha. Void Thunder Ancient Buddha was a Buddha from several 100,000 years ago. He had reached the 9-wheel Ancient Buddha realm early on and was a top powerhouse in the Buddhist clan of that era. Void Thunder Ancient Buddha had visited the other 3 continents and fought with various race powerhouses, though the results of those battles were unknown to outsiders. Later, Void Thunder Ancient Buddha returned to the Buddhist clan and never appeared in public again. Unexpectedly, he had transformed into a golden Buddha statue, becoming the Buddhist clan's trump card. Facing the pseudo-9 wheels unified Void Thunder Ancient Buddha, Lin Moyu's expression also became serious. He put away his smile, and the Great Tao Indestructible Pill was already in his hand. This was also his trump card. Amitabha, Thunder Demon Slayer. With a Buddha's name, Void Thunder Ancient Buddha made his move. Bolts of lightning fell from the sky. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and the 4 space-rending killing arrays simultaneously attacked towards the sky. Space blades tore through space, forming spatial turbulence to resist the lightning. The lightning also tore through space, but was partially weakened as it continued to strike towards Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's time wings shook as he quickly retreated, but the lightning pursued him like a shadow. At this moment, Ao Luo roared, spitting out a dragon pearl from his mouth. The dragon pearl rippled with water, turning into a swamp world to block the lightning for Lin Moyu. Boom! The swamp world shattered, and the dragon pearl flew back. Ao Luo immediately spat out blood. Cracks had appeared on the returning dragon pearl. A few more hits and it would shatter. Ao Luo said softly, "Let's attack together with friend Lin and kill this Void Thunder Ancient Buddha." His words were a command. Immediately, many dragons attacked, launching assaults at Void Thunder Ancient Buddha. Although the 5 elements Great Tao was sealed, the dragon race still had many secret techniques and treasures. For a time, various attacks covered Void Thunder Ancient Buddha like the sky falling and the earth sinking. The 3 lives Buddha Patriarch said softly, "It's useless. No matter how many, it's in vain." Lin Moyu suddenly turned his head to look, then revealed a smile, "It seems I don't need to make a move." He put away the Great Tao Indestructible Pill, then said to the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch, "It's only polite to reciprocate. Since you just used lightning to attack me, I'll return the favor tooth for tooth, to seek psychological balance." The Thunder Lich appeared beside him, the Thunder Great Tao enveloping its entire body. The next second, the Thunder Great Tao expanded violently, covering heaven and earth, enveloping a large area. The moment he saw the Thunder Lich, the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch felt a hint of unease. It seemed this little fellow was very dangerous. A drop of ancestor water fell onto the Thunder Lich. The Thunder Lich raised its small hand and pointed fiercely, "Chain lightning." "Stop!" The 3 lives Buddha Patriarch called out almost instinctively, but it was useless. A bolt of lightning flew out violently, instantly striking a 5-wheel ancient Buddha. With a scream, the 5-wheel ancient Buddha's golden body shattered, falling on the spot. But this was just the beginning. The lightning suddenly exploded, 1 becoming 10, 10 becoming 100, becoming endless, shooting in all directions. Guided by the Buddhist clan's aura, a chain of lightning attacked all the Buddhists present, and each attack's power wasn't weakened at all. With the help of Ancestor Water and the Thunder Great Tao, this attack's power had already approached the 8th level Tao Venerable realm. Ancient Buddhas below 7 wheels simply couldn't withstand it. Even 7-wheel ancient Buddhas would be severely injured by the lightning. In just an instant, the Western paradise of ultimate bliss became a land of death. Most of the Buddhas present died. Chapter 3246, 3246. Chapter 3246. Even if the dragon race is useless, it's not your turn to kill them. The 3 lives Buddha Patriarch watched with blood shooting from his eyes. Just 1 attack had killed or injured over half of the Buddhas present. Although most of those who died were below 5-wheel level, it was enough to severely wound the Buddhist clan's vitality. These Buddhas should have been in their own Buddha nations, but came to the Western paradise of ultimate bliss in response to the summons. The 3 lives Buddha Patriarch hadn't expected them to contribute much power, since the true outcome would be decided by those above the 7th level. Most of the time, they just needed to watch. As a result, a battle that should have been a sure victory took a turn due to Lin Moyu's appearance. Lin Moyu didn't seem to be completely on the dragon race's side. He just didn't want things to go well for the Buddhist clan. The reason sounded ridiculous, it was just for the hell fragment and the treasure in yellow eyebrow ancient Buddha's hands. The 3 lives Buddha Patriarch growled, "Lin Moyu, our Buddhist clan will be at odds with you to the death." Lin Moyu chuckled, "To the death? You'd better take care of yourself first. I think you're in for big trouble." In his view, you hit me with lightning once, I hit back once. This was fair. Boom! A violent battle wave exploded from the side. Void Thunder Buddha broke through the encirclement of several dragon race great elders and attacked towards Lin Moyu. Now the one the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch most wanted to kill was Lin Moyu, without question. Likewise, his will was also Void Thunder Buddha's will. Void Thunder Buddha had long since passed away. The one truly controlling Void Thunder Buddha now was actually the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch. Facing the aggressive attack of Void Thunder Buddha, Lin Moyu shook his time wings and quickly retreated. He didn't show any panic. He knew very clearly that Void Thunder Buddha couldn't kill him. Void Thunder Buddha transformed into lightning, moving extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, he caught up to Lin Moyu. But before he could attack, a powerful beam of light shot out from behind Lin Moyu, instantly striking Void Thunder Buddha. This light was too fast. Void Thunder Buddha couldn't react in time and was directly sent flying. Not only was the light fast, but its power was incredibly strong. Void Thunder Buddha's lightning was forcibly dispersed, and countless cracks appeared on his golden body. Countless golden lights shot out from the cracks. Void Thunder Buddha's power began to rapidly dissipate. The light transformed into a divine dragon in midair. The divine dragon spat out terrifying dragon breath, landing on Void Thunder Buddha. Void Thunder Buddha's golden body quickly melted in the dragon breath. Then the divine dragon opened its mouth and bit Void Thunder Buddha, clamping down hard. With a huge boom, Void Thunder Buddha shattered. The dragon race members watching this scene were all stunned. The combat power displayed by this divine dragon was terrifyingly strong, far more powerful than great elders like Aoluo. Aoluo's body trembled uncontrollably, his voice also shaking. Crown Prince. Lin Moyu transmitted to Antares, "Old fellow, long time no see." The one who had come was indeed Antares. It had been a long time since Lin Moyu had seen Antares, and he was full of nostalgia. Antares just lightly snorted, acknowledging the greeting. Then he looked at the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch. "So it's you who wants to wipe out my dragon race?" The Three Lives Buddha Patriarch's face was extremely ugly at this moment. He didn't know why this was happening, where this divine dragon had come from, and why he was so strong. In all the information he knew about the dragon race, there was no such figure. He heard Aoluo call him Crown Prince, but there was no Crown Prince in the dragon race. The dragon race only had one clan leader, and the clan leader was only at the 9th level Dao Venerable realm. But this so-called Crown Prince before him was clearly no longer at the 9th level Dao Venerable realm, nor was he at the pseudo-Great Dao realm, but at the true Great Dao realm. The Three Lives Buddha Patriarch's thoughts were in chaos. Where had this fellow come from? Antares saw the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch not speaking and said, "The Buddhist clan's inheritance has finally revived on the origin continent with great difficulty. You want to grow strong again, that's no problem. But what you absolutely shouldn't have done was to use the dragon race as a stepping stone. These fellows of the dragon race, although they're all useless, it's not your turn to wipe them out." Antares spoke very impolitely. Some of the dragons present showed anger in their eyes. Being called useless naturally wouldn't feel good. But none of them dared to say anything. That was a terrifying being who had bitten Void Thunder Buddha to death with one bite. Moreover, although he was a divine dragon, he didn't seem to have much goodwill towards the dragon race. Lin Moyu laughed inwardly. Antares' reaction was about what he had expected. This was the dragon race's protectiveness. Even if they were to be killed, it would have to be by Antares' own hand. Outsiders couldn't touch them. Now that the Buddhist clan wanted to wipe out the dragon race, it wasn't allowed. The Three Lives Buddha Patriarch sighed. This Buddha Patriarch miscalculated. Our clan can make compensation. Whatever demands you have, friend, you can state them. Antares said, "First, cancel the dragon congregation and hand over those fellows." Seeing Antares make demands, the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. This matter could still be negotiated. Being able to negotiate was good. He had feared Antares would kill them all. His own death would be a small matter, but the entire Buddhist clan might have to perish with him. He had already made the worst preparations, to atone with his death, at least to preserve the Buddhist clan's lineage. The Three Lives Buddha Patriarch said to the distant ancient Buddhas, "Bring them here." Immediately some ancient Buddhas went away. A moment later, they brought back the dragon race members who had been bewitched by them. 3 divine dragons plus 8 sacred giant dragons, all below the 4th level Dao Venerable realm. Antares spat out a mouthful of dragon breath. These bewitched ones instantly turned to smoke and dust in the dragon breath. This action immediately caused many dragon race members to be startled. Some wanted to speak up and question, but Ao Luo quickly said in a low voice, "Everyone shut up. No one is allowed to speak." Killing fellow clan members with one breath of dragon breath, Antares acted as if he had done something trivial. Just as he said, these dragon race members could be killed by themselves, but it wasn't others' turn to kill them. Antares said, "Second item, 1 9th grade origin spirit vein." When he said this, the expressions on the faces of all the Buddhas above the 7th level became extremely squared 3/4 a 1/2 copyright. The 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch's expression twisted, but after a moment he still sighed helplessly, "Amitabha, indeed nothing can be hidden from friend." He pointed a finger downwards. The earth rumbled, and an origin spirit vein slowly emerged. The origin spirit vein emitted an astonishing aura. It shone with colorful lights and mists, with an indescribable beauty. This was Lin Moyu's first time seeing a 9th grade origin spirit vein. This was the top-tier spirit vein on the origin continent, extremely rare. He didn't expect the Buddhist clan to have one. Now the situation was in others' hands. No matter how unwilling the Buddhist clan was, they could only hand it over. If they didn't hand it over, Antares would definitely kill them and then take the origin spirit vein. They couldn't keep it either way, so they might as well let themselves live. Antares spat out dragon breath. The huge 9th grade origin spirit vein quickly shrank, then was taken away by him. However, he only took away the main trunk. He didn't touch some of the branches. If the Buddhist clan was lucky enough, perhaps they would have a chance to cultivate another 9th grade origin spirit vein in tens of thousands of years. Antares said softly, "Last thing, your realm is a bit too high. Let's lower it a bit." He looked to the sky and let out a dragon roar. An invisible force violently fell on the 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch. The 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch collapsed on the spot, changing from 3 heads and 6 arms back into 3 separate ancient Buddhas, each a 9-wheel ancient Buddha. Antares said coldly, "If you provoke the dragon race again, your entire clan will be doomed." I'm stating to translate. The 100th regression of the max level player. I have completely translated the following books. Real life player. Your girlfriend was amazing. Check them out on my P at TR30N. ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up, go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3247, 3247. Chapter 3247, I would choose the same if I were in their position. Antares fully demonstrated the dragon race's protectiveness, as well as his domineering nature. No matter how useless the dragon race was in his words, they were still his own useless ones, and it wasn't for outsiders to interfere. After issuing a warning, Antares turned and left without any lingering. Before leaving, he glanced at Lin Moyu without saying much. Lin Moyu read some information from his gaze. Antares was clearly saying that Lin Moyu wasn't strong enough yet, and he was still waiting for him. Indeed, he wasn't strong enough. Regardless of combat power, if the realm wasn't there, it wasn't there. He currently didn't have the qualifications to accompany Antares, to kill their way beyond the sky, to kill into the heavenly Tao. Even if his combat power reached the great Tao realm, without sufficient realm, he still couldn't go up. This was a hard barrier. Realm was the stepping stone. Lin Moyu took a deep breath and looked at the 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch. At this moment, the 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch had already split into 3, becoming an ancient Buddha with a 9-wheel halo. His realm had been forcibly stripped by Antares, no longer at the pseudo-9 wheels unified state. However, the 3 Lives Buddha Patriarch didn't seem particularly disappointed. After splitting into 3, 2 of the bodies sat cross-legged, chanting scriptures. Only one looked at Lin Moyu with a very complex gaze. In his hand, he held a small pagoda with a green lamp on it, which was Green Lamp Ancient Buddha. Lin Moyu said, "Let's reintroduce ourselves. Human Lin Moyu greets Green Lamp Ancient Buddha." Lin Moyu spoke politely, his tone calm, without a trace of worldly air. No one could have imagined that just moments ago, this fellow had killed dozens of ancient Buddhas with a wave of his hand, including a 9-wheel ancient Buddha. Green Lamp Ancient Buddha sighed deeply, chanting a Buddha's name, "Amitabha, Green Lamp greets friend Lin." Lin Moyu smiled and said, "What do you plan to do now? Continue fighting?" Green Lamp Ancient Buddha revealed a bitter smile. What was there to fight? How could they fight now? If he had known earlier that the dragon race had such a powerful god behind them, he wouldn't have come up with this plan at all. Now they had not only failed to seize the dragon race's destiny, but his own realm had been weakened, and the Buddhist clan's destiny had been greatly damaged as a result. Green Lamp Ancient Buddha shook his head lightly. The hell fragment is not in Green Lamp's possession. Lin Moyu nodded. I know. You should have given the hell fragment to the Netherworld race. Green Lamp Ancient Buddha was slightly surprised, then sighed. Indeed, friend Lin has guessed correctly. It seems what friend Lin said before was just probing. Lin Moyu smiled. It was just a guess at the time. But since you couldn't produce it for so long, the guess became fact. Green Lamp Ancient Buddha said, for friend Lin to guess to this extent is already beyond what ordinary people can do. This old monk is ashamed to be inferior. Lin Moyu said, you're not bad either. Although what you did is a great evil to the dragon race, it's a great good for the Buddhist clan. I can understand it too. Green Lamp Ancient Buddha chanted another Buddha's name, Amitabha. The Buddhist clan is weak, with no one beyond the sky. If danger comes again, I fear we won't have the power to protect ourselves. Lin Moyu understood his concerns. If he were in the same position, perhaps he would make a similar choice. Human nature is selfish, and so is Buddha nature. Everyone is a living being on the origin continent, and there's essentially no difference. Sacrificing others for one's own benefit is a very normal thing. It's just that everyone's interests are different, so conflicts arise between them. There's often no reason to explain many things. The conflict between the dragon race and insect race has never been known why in any case. They're mortal enemies, and there's no reason to explain that either. Lin Moyu said, so what will Green Lamp Ancient Buddha do next? Green Lamp Ancient Buddha said softly, I won't give up. If this path is blocked, then I'll find another way. If I can't find it, then I'll leave it to future generations. Lin Moyu now took out the 7 treasures pagoda. This pagoda was originally intended to exchange for the hell fragment. Now that the hell fragment isn't here, and I've killed quite a few of your people, let's use this treasure to pay the debt. Green Lamp Ancient Buddha looked at the 7 treasures pagoda, his eyes revealing an unusual light. Clearly, he cared very much about the 7 treasures pagoda. Lin Moyu didn't know why, but he could see that the 7 treasures pagoda seemed very important. Green Lamp Ancient Buddha's gaze swept over the remaining 3 9-wheel ancient Buddhas. What do you all think? The 3 9-wheel ancient Buddhas said in unison, we'll follow the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch's decision. Green Lamp Ancient Buddha said, if that's the case, then this old monk will make the decision. The previous matters each have their own karma, and under karma, all is predetermined. The matters between our Buddhist clan and friend Lin will be put to rest here. Let no one mention it again. Amitabha, great virtue. The 3 9-wheel ancient Buddhas all spoke up, agreeing with Green Lamp Ancient Buddha's words. As for the other Buddhas, naturally they wouldn't have any opinions, nor would they dare to have any opinions. They were all smart people and could see that they were at a disadvantage now. Lin Moyu alone was terrifying enough, and then there was a group of dragons present. If they fought again, the Buddhist clan would likely face great disaster. Lin Moyu handed the 7 treasures pagoda to Green Lamp Ancient Buddha, and at the same time said, there's one more thing. As I said before, I need to take back the item in Yellow Eyebrow Ancient Buddha's possession. Green Lamp Ancient Buddha looked up, his gaze sweeping over to an ancient Buddha with golden eyebrows. Yellow Eyebrow, please return friend Lin's item. Yellow Eyebrow had just escaped the chain lightning thanks to the Buddha seed bag. Now hearing Green Lamp Ancient Buddha's words, no matter how unwilling he was, he didn't dare not to hand it over. He took out the reincarnation treasure from the Buddha seed bag. The reincarnation treasure was like a pearl, emitting a blue light, accompanied by an intense cold aura. It was obviously not an ordinary treasure at first glance. Yellow Eyebrow Ancient Buddha was clearly very reluctant but also very helpless. He could only hand the treasure to Green Lamp Ancient Buddha, who then passed it to Lin Moyu. He had studied this treasure for over 10 years but hadn't really figured out much. He just felt unwilling to part with it. But thinking of Lin Moyu's methods, he felt that his life was much more important than this treasure. Lin Moyu received Little May's reincarnation treasure and smiled slightly, then many thanks to Yellow Eyebrow Ancient Buddha. Yellow Eyebrow Ancient Buddha immediately said, friend Lin is too kind. This old monk obtained this item by chance. I didn't expect it to be friend Lin's thing. Now it can be considered returned to its rightful owner. Lin Moyu smiled and didn't say anything more. He turned to look at Ao Luo and the others. Great Elder Ao Luo, do you still plan to continue fighting? Ao Luo thought for a moment and shook his head. The dragon congregation has been destroyed. We no longer need to continue. He was very smart. If Antares really wanted to destroy the dragon race, he would have done it directly earlier. For Antares, killing these 9-wheel ancient Buddhas, let alone wiping out the Buddhist clan, wasn't a difficult task. As long as the 9-wheel ancient Buddhas died, it would be easy for them to destroy the Buddhist clan. But Antares didn't act, only reducing the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch's realm. The meaning of this couldn't be clearer. He wanted to maintain a balance between the Buddhist clan and the dragon race, and had no intention of destroying the Buddhist clan. So Ao Luo wouldn't act now either. Lin Moyu said, if that's the case, then Elder Ao Luo should go back. After all, this is the Western paradise of ultimate bliss. The Buddhist light shines everywhere. It's not good for you to stay too long. Ao Luo understood Lin Moyu's meaning. Thank you for your help, friend Lin. Our dragon race will remember this favor. In the future, if friend Lin has time, please come visit the dragon race. Lin Moyu smiled and said, I will come. Chapter 3248. 3248. Chapter 3248. The key is how to give it. The great battle ended, and the Western paradise of ultimate bliss returned to peace, though it was now in ruins. In this battle, the Buddhist clan suffered heavy losses without gaining any advantage, instead paying a great price. Their original plan had no problems. The issue arose because of Lin Moyu. If Lin Moyu had come even a month later, everything would have been resolved. In the Western paradise of ultimate bliss, the Buddhas retreated and began repairing the damage. Only Green Lamp Ancient Buddha and Lin Moyu remained. Lin Moyu stayed behind to speak further with Green Lamp Ancient Buddha. Though he disliked the Buddhist clan, he didn't intend to become mortal enemies with them. Lin Moyu said, Buddha Patriarch Green Lamp, have you considered what would have happened if I hadn't come today? Green Lamp Ancient Buddha chanted a Buddha's name, Amitabha. If friend Lin hadn't arrived today, I fear our clan would have faced great calamity, with the entire clan's destruction imminent. Green Lamp Ancient Buddha understood clearly that if his plan had succeeded and the dragon race was destroyed, the moment the news spread would have been when great disaster befell the Buddhist clan. Because of Antares' existence, they couldn't have taken the dragon race's destiny, so he couldn't have achieved 9 wheels unification through this. If Antares came looking for them then, he wouldn't have been as polite as today. With great Tao realm power, the Buddhist clan's destruction would have been instantaneous. From this perspective, although Lin Moyu disrupted his plan, he had actually indirectly saved the Buddhist clan. So Green Lamp Ancient Buddha didn't hate Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu asked, the rights and wrongs, causes and effects of this matter are indeed difficult to explain clearly. This Lin came here with selfish motives too. Green Lamp Ancient Buddha said, this old monk understands. If friend Lin has any requests, please speak freely. As long as this old monk can do it, I won't refuse. Lin Moyu smiled and said, the Buddhist clan's inheritance doesn't come from the origin continent. The same is true for the insect race. This Lin has a great hobby in life. I like to seek the root of everything. Hearing this, Green Lamp Ancient Buddha understood Lin Moyu's meaning. He took out a Buddhist bead and placed it on his brow. The bead slowly began to glow. After a moment, Green Lamp Ancient Buddha handed the bead to Lin Moyu. Everything this old monk knows is in here. Actually, this old monk doesn't know too much. Time is long, and too many things have been buried by the years. If friend Lin wants to seek more information, perhaps you can only go there. As Green Lamp Ancient Buddha spoke, his gaze inadvertently looked towards the sky. The there he referred to was beyond the sky. Perhaps only in the great Tao beyond the sky were there buried years. Only from the mouths of ancient beings who had survived the great calamity could all veils of the ancient war be lifted. But before that, Lin Moyu first needed to obtain the qualifications to go beyond the sky. Lin Moyu didn't immediately examine the bead. He believed Green Lamp Ancient Buddha wouldn't speak nonsense. After putting away the bead, Lin Moyu said softly, then this Lin will take his leave. Green Lamp Ancient Buddha bowed to Lin Moyu, Amitabha, friend Lin, take care on your journey. Lin Moyu left the Western paradise of ultimate bliss. The Lufin Chamber of Commerce's warship was still waiting outside. Lu Shudao seemed to be waiting for Lin Moyu. Seeing Lin Moyu come out, Lu Shudao immediately went to greet him and transmitted, Mr. Lin, there's a message from the 3 ancestors. Lin Moyu asked, what did the three ancestors say? Lu Shudao continued transmitting, the three ancestors said the matter is done. Mr. Lin's guess was correct. Lin Moyu's lips revealed a slight smile. It seemed the Netherworld race and Hundred Herbs Alliance had both made their moves. However, they were blocked by the three ancestors. He just didn't know if the two sides had actually fought. It seemed they wouldn't have fought. The three ancestors was in the Great Dao realm. The two races wouldn't be so unwise. Even Withering and Flourishing Elder wouldn't want to directly clash with the three ancestors. In any case, this matter could be considered completed. Lin Moyu said, please trouble Senior Lu to pass on a message to the three ancestors. Tell him that when this Lin returns, I will naturally fulfill my promise. Lu Shudao chuckled, the three ancestors also said he believes Mr. Lin won't renege on the debt, so there's no need to rush. Lin Moyu nodded, all right, matters here are concluded. This Lin will take his leave. Lu Shudao continued asking, where is Mr. Lin going? This Lu can send Mr. Lin there. Lin Moyu shook his head, I want to go by myself. Seeing Lin Moyu say this, Lu Shudao naturally wouldn't insist. He cupped his hands towards Lin Moyu, then I wish Mr. Lin all the best. We'll meet again if fate allows. The two bid farewell, and Lu Shudao left with the warship. He had certainly already transmitted the news back. As for how the information would ultimately be spread and which parts would be circulated, the Lufan Chamber of Commerce would naturally have discretion. However, Lin Moyu felt that the true process of what happened here wouldn't appear in the world. Most people didn't have the qualifications to know what happened here. What they would know would only be the tip of the iceberg. Lin Moyu left the Western Paradise of Ultimate Bliss and continued advancing through Buddhist lands. Little May followed behind Lin Moyu again, still sitting on the cloud-piercing sword to cultivate. Little May had woken up once before, talked with Lin Moyu for a while, eaten a good meal, slept, and then started cultivating again. She had already entered the door and was now building her foundation. Lin Moyu didn't immediately give her the reincarnation treasure. He would definitely give it to her, but the key was how to give it. Lin Moyu never denied he had selfish motives. One reason he was willing to help Little May was because of her destiny. Once Little May obtained the reincarnation treasure and recovered her past life memories, understanding her identity, her destiny would greatly increase. At that time, if Little May didn't acknowledge being his disciple, he wouldn't gain much destiny. So how to give it was crucial. As he advanced, Lin Moyu examined the information in the Buddhist bead. As Green Lamp Ancient Buddha had said, he didn't know too much. He knew the Buddhist clan's inheritance didn't come from the origin continent, but he didn't know exactly where it came from. The Buddhist clan's inheritance appeared long after the origin catastrophe had passed. At that time, the Western continent was desolate. The dragon race had just taken root, and the insect race appeared soon after. The two sides fought bitterly for unknown reasons. The Hundred Herbs Alliance in the northeast of the Western continent had also been established. At that time, the dragon race and insect race occupied most of the Western continent. Along with the Hundred Herbs Alliance, it could be said that the Western continent was the domain of these three races. As for the Southern continent, the human race had begun dividing territory, with various forces emerging. The Lufan Chamber of Commerce also appeared then. In the Northern continent, the Beast race was led by the Beast Emperor, ending the Great War and achieving unification. Only the Eastern continent remained chaotic. It was in this environment that the Buddhist clan sprouted. The first ancestor of the Buddhist clan didn't choose to go to the Eastern continent, nor did he choose the Southern or Northern continents. Instead, he established the Buddhist clan on the Western continent where three powers were in a standoff. At first, the Buddhist clan was very weak, occupying an area smaller than the most ordinary Buddha nation. But as time passed, the Buddhist clan gradually grew stronger. More and more people joined the Buddhist clan. And because the dragon race and insect race were fighting to the death, while the Hundred Herbs Alliance remained uninvolved. Eventually, the Western continent changed from a three-way standoff to four races coexisting. Moreover, the territory occupied by the Buddhist clan had surpassed the other three races. However, the Buddhist clan's upper echelons were also clear that they had no one in the sky. Unlike the dragon race and Hundred Herbs Alliance, they had no Great Dao realm backing. They were the weakest of the four. Once danger descended again, the Buddhist clan certainly couldn't protect themselves. So Nine Wheels unification became the obsession of generation after generation of the Buddhist clan. Chapter 3249, 3249. Chapter 3249, Others' words are not as useful as your own eyes. After reading the information, Lin Moyu put away the Buddhist bead. Lin Moyu muttered to himself, Green Lamp Ancient Buddha is indeed a clever person. It's a pity that with his talent, if he were in a human race sacred ground, he would have had an 80–90% chance of breaking through to the Tao Venerable realm. Green Lamp Ancient Buddha was praised as having the strongest Buddhist nature and best cultivation talent in the Buddhist clan for countless years. He was also the only Buddha to break through to Nine Wheels unification in countless years. Although it was only pseudo-unification, he had still broken through. At least he had endured the heavenly tribulation. In the pseudo-Nine Wheels unified state, his lifespan was already the same as a great Tao realm being. Given enough time, he might have had a chance to advance further. Unfortunately, he was held back by the Buddhist clan and acted a bit hastily. Now Green Lamp Ancient Buddha's realm had been reduced, but it wasn't without hope. Perhaps one day, he could cultivate back to his previous level. The reason Lin Moyu said this was not only because of Green Lamp Ancient Buddha's extremely strong talent, but also because Green Lamp Ancient Buddha had told him a lot about the netherworld race's situation. He had once confronted that hell fragment, neither side giving in, until he became a pseudo-Nine Wheels unified being and was barely able to suppress it. Even now he could only barely suppress it. He knew clearly that if he couldn't suppress it one day, the hell fragment was very likely to become a great disaster for the Buddhist clan. But he also couldn't casually throw away the hell fragment, otherwise the resulting karma would be more than he could bear, and even the Buddhist clan couldn't withstand it. Even if he wanted to give it away, it couldn't be given casually. If others didn't handle it well, some of the karma would still fall on the Buddhist clan. Taking advantage of this opportunity, he gave the hell fragment to the netherworld race, which could be considered getting rid of a hot potato. Because of the cooperation between the two races, Green Lamp Ancient Buddha indicated he had the hell fragment, and the netherworld race actively asked for the hell fragment. So whatever happened next would have nothing to do with the Buddhist clan. It seemed he was giving the hell fragment, but he was actually giving a large portion of karma. Green Lamp Ancient Buddha was not only scheming against the dragon race, but also against the netherworld race, and he didn't even spare the insect race. If the dragon race's destiny wasn't enough for him to advance, then he would continue to deal with the insect race and fight for the insect race's destiny. But for all his calculations, he didn't account for Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu arrived at the top of a mountain peak, standing at the tip and looking towards the direction of the western paradise of ultimate bliss. Now he had walked very far, and the western paradise of ultimate bliss was no longer visible, but this didn't hinder him from observing destiny. The Buddhist clan's destiny, compared to the beginning, had weakened by about half. This was mainly due to his own reduction, but the destiny he had reduced would gradually recover over time. Another part of the destiny was due to other reasons. The death and injury of Buddhas and the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch's realm being reduced would all affect the Buddhist clan's destiny. This part of the destiny was difficult to recover, unless more Buddhas cultivated up again. Most importantly, the 9th grade origin spirit vein that the Buddhist clan had cultivated for many years was taken away by Antares. This loss was too great, and it would be difficult to recover from. Oh, Lin Moyu let out a light exclamation, revealing some surprise. He actually saw a red light within the Buddhist clan's destiny. Red light appearing within destiny meant great fortune was coming. The tide is turning, the Buddhist clan is about to have great luck. Green Lamp Ancient Buddha transformed into the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch, schemed against 3 races, ultimately failed, his realm fell, the Buddhist clan's power was greatly damaged. It should have been a weakening of destiny, how could it be great fortune? Could it be that pagoda? What exactly is the 7 treasures pagoda? The 3 ancestors said at the time that Green Lamp Ancient Buddha would certainly be willing to exchange. It seems it wasn't said casually. If the hell fragment hadn't already left his hands, he probably would have brought it out to exchange. Indeed, the saying, great fortune follows great misfortune, isn't said casually. Lin Moyu recalled the details of the whole affair and finally determined that the only possibility for the Buddhist clan to have such great fortune must come from the 7 treasures pagoda. The 3 ancestors must know what the 7 treasures pagoda is, but couldn't directly give it to the Buddhist clan, as that would certainly create great karma between him and the Buddhist clan. So the 3 ancestors used the 7 treasures pagoda to exchange for the ice fire Tao stone, then through Lin Moyu's hands, passed the 7 treasures pagoda to Green Lamp Ancient Buddha. This way, there was no karma between the 3 ancestors and the Buddhist clan. Thinking back now, the three ancestors had always been in a state of seclusion, clearly not wanting to create karma with any side. Three ancestors, what a good scheme. Lin Moyu's lips couldn't help but curl up slightly. The three ancestors was truly an old fox, but this kind of scheme wouldn't cause any harm to himself. Teacher, what are you smiling about? Little May's crisp voice came from the side. Lin Moyu said, nothing, just thought of some interesting things. Little May, did you gain anything from this cultivation? Little May nodded, look. She stretched out her small palm, and cold air rose from her palm, quickly condensing into an ice crystal. This meant that Little May had already entered the door. Purely in terms of realm, Little May was already a bit higher than when Lin Moyu was in the small world after his first transformation. However, Little May hadn't learned any combat techniques. She had the realm but no combat experience. This wasn't important. Lin Moyu didn't intend for Little May to fight anyway. Once Little May absorbed her reincarnation treasure and regained her past life memories, she would naturally have combat experience. Lin Moyu patted Little May's head, very good, keep it up. Little May will get better and better. Little May giggled, it's all because teacher taught well. Lin Moyu said, ahead is Big Belly Buddha Nation. It's said there are some fun things in Big Belly Buddha Nation. Want to go take a look? Hearing there were fun things, Little May's big eyes lit up, yes, yes. After all, she was still a 10-year-old child, and children's nature is to play. Previously in Dragon Subduing Buddha Nation, Little May didn't have much chance to play. Now she could play a bit. Lin Moyu took Little May and flew down from the mountain peak, directly entering Big Belly Buddha Nation. Buddhist scriptures were also being chanted in Big Belly Buddha Nation, but the scriptures here were slightly different from what they had heard before. The scriptures didn't contain the name of Big Belly Ancient Buddha, and the tone of the chanting was lighter and faster, without any feeling of oppression. After walking for a while in Big Belly Buddha Nation, they saw a village. The village was very rustic, exuding the air of age, ancient yet very clean. The village here is so clean. Little May had sharp eyes and immediately noticed the difference. Compared to the village where she grew up, this village in the Buddha Nation was much cleaner. Lin Moyu said, then can Little May see why the village is so clean? Little May instinctively said, I'll go ask. Lin Moyu stopped her, don't ask, just look first. Sometimes, others' words are not as useful as your own eyes. Many times, no one will tell you why. You need to learn to find the root of problems from what you see and hear. Little May was very clever and immediately understood that Lin Moyu was teaching her. She nodded her little head, okay, Little May will think about it. Lin Moyu took Little May into the village. Strangely, no one in the village noticed their arrival. Little May walked on the clean and tidy stone path, looking left and right. Gradually, she had some ideas. Teacher, I think I know something, but I don't know if it's correct. Lin Moyu smiled and said, tell me. It doesn't matter if it's wrong. Chapter 3250, 3250. Chapter 3250. Friend Lin's grand visit brings glory to our humble city. Little May gathered her courage and said softly, the people here seem very happy. Everyone has a smile on their face, and they work very quickly. They are also chanting scriptures, but it's different from our village. They can chant while working, without stopping. In our village, when chanting scriptures, we have to sit down and face the direction of the nation lord to show devotion. Chanting scriptures takes a long time each day, so people in our village don't have as much time to work. They're too busy just farming and such every day, let alone tidying up the village. After speaking, Little May looked at Lin Moyu with her big eyes, as if asking if she was correct. Lin Moyu didn't answer, but instead asked, anything else? Little May thought for a moment and shook her head lightly, no more. Lin Moyu said, actually, Little May got most of it right. The people here are indeed very happy and work very quickly, but the real root cause isn't there. What I want you to see is why the people here are so happy, why they work so fast. When we think about problems, we need to think deeper. Sometimes it may seem more complicated, but once you get used to it, it will greatly benefit your cultivation. If Little May understands my words, then look again and try to find the root of the problem. We're not in a hurry. Little May understood Lin Moyu's words and patiently began searching again. Using her eyes to see and ears to listen, Little May finally discovered some clues. Little May wasn't very certain, teacher, it seems the root of the problem is the Buddhist scriptures. Lin Moyu gestured for her to continue. Little May thought for a moment, organizing her words. The Buddhist scriptures here have a special effect. They can keep people in a happy state, and in this state, work goes especially quickly. Lin Moyu patted Little May's head. This time you're correct. The root of the problem is indeed the Buddhist scriptures. However, the effect of the scriptures isn't just to make people happy. The scriptures can also replenish everyone's energy, so they don't get tired when working, naturally making them faster. Little May said curiously, but chanting scriptures is very tiring. Little May had chanted scriptures before. Chanting scriptures was a very tiring thing, and every time she finished chanting, Little May just wanted to sleep well. Not just her, many villagers had the same experience, though adults were a bit better than her. However, no one ever found it strange or questioned it. Lin Moyu said, "Let's go. We'll talk as we walk." The two left the village and headed towards the nearest Buddha city. On the way, Lin Moyu fully satisfied Little May's curiosity. The Buddhas cultivate Buddhist power. The root of Buddhist power has two sources. One is incense and devotional power, which comes from the devotees' sincerity. You get tired when chanting scriptures because when you chant sincerely, your own devotional power is offered to the Buddha, so you become mentally fatigued. But the scriptures here, while also absorbing incense and devotional power, don't just absorb. They also give back. As a result, people naturally don't feel tired. As long as they keep chanting the scriptures, they'll have inexhaustible energy. They can even reduce sleep time by half. After Lin Moyu's explanation, Little May finally understood the root source of Buddhist power. But she had a new question, but doesn't that mean the nation lord here loses out? Lin Moyu laughed heartily, not at all. Incense and devotional power also have levels. The more sincere, the purer the offered incense and devotional power. For example, if each person chanting in your village contributes 1 unit of incense and devotional power, then people chanting here contribute 5 or even 10 units. And Big Belly Ancient Buddha only needs to return half of it, which is enough for ordinary people to not feel tired. Moreover, people here are constantly chanting, non-stop except for sleeping and eating. The total amount of incense and devotional power contributed daily far exceeds that of dragon subduing Ancient Buddha. Little May said, "Oh," and nodded, "I understand now." Lin Moyu said, "The root of Buddhist power has two sources. Incense and devotional power is one, and the other is origin power. Origin power comes from heaven and earth, from origin spirit veins." As they walked and talked, Lin Moyu carefully explained the path of cultivation to Little May, and she understood the source of power. At the same time, Lin Moyu would occasionally ask Little May some questions, each time requiring her to find the root cause of the problem rather than answering superficially. Gradually, Little May began to get used to it. Her way of looking at the world changed. Little May began to habitually ponder and explore the root of problems, though her experience was limited and she couldn't see too deeply into many things, needing Lin Moyu to explain bit by bit and guide her. However, Lin Moyu knew that once the habit was formed, things would be different when Little May received her past life memories. Everyone here had a smile on their face, walking and chanting scriptures. They chanted scriptures like singing, with a fast and pleasant melody. Sometimes they would also chat and talk, stopping their chanting then, and they could stop at any time without rules. The word, rules, seemed to have been diluted in Big Belly Buddha Nation. Little May couldn't help but sigh, the people here are truly happy. Lin Moyu said, "Big Belly Ancient Buddha is a very special one among the many ancient Buddhas of the Buddhist clan. It's said he has no quarrel with the world, always wears a smile, and is kind to everyone." Little May's eyes were full of admiration. "Teacher, how do you know so much?" Lin Moyu said, "You'll know all this in the future too, maybe even more than I know." Little May shook her head. How could Little May compare to teacher? They passed through one Buddha city after another. People in Big Belly Buddha Nation also go on pilgrimages, but they don't prostrate themselves every 3 steps or 9 steps. Finally, they came to the main city of Big Belly Buddha Nation. The main city of Big Belly Buddha Nation was situated on a plain, without any fancy decorations. It looked no different from ordinary Buddha cities, except that it was large enough. In the center of the main city stood a huge Buddha hall. Above the Buddha hall, a gigantic golden Buddha statue was projected. True to his name, Big Belly Ancient Buddha had a huge belly. His round face had a big mouth, wearing a kind smile that made people feel friendly at first glance. Lin Moyu looked from afar and smiled faintly, that fellow came back after all. Previously in the Western paradise of ultimate bliss, Big Belly Ancient Buddha was also there. However, that guy was very cunning. When the fighting started, he hid far away and didn't really participate in the battle. Moreover, he was powerful. Big Belly Ancient Buddha was an 8-wheel Ancient Buddha, and according to Lin Moyu's observation, he was only half a step away from becoming a 9-wheel Ancient Buddha. So in the great battle, he could be said to have emerged almost unscathed. The moment Lin Moyu stepped into the main city, he felt someone notice him. The golden Buddha statue in midair slowly opened its eyes and looked towards Lin Moyu. In an instant, brilliant golden light shot straight into the sky, endless golden clouds appeared in the sky, and 10,000 rays of Buddhist light dyed the surrounding 10,000 li into a golden world. Within 10,000 li, all villages and Buddha cities were enveloped in golden light. In an instant, countless people knelt on the ground, bowing their heads. The Buddha Patriarch is manifesting. The Buddha Patriarch is manifesting. The golden Buddha statue of Big Belly Ancient Buddha slowly opened its mouth. Friend Lin's grand visit brings glory to our humble city. Chapter 3251, 3251. Chapter 3251, 3 Lives Secret Technique, 2 Worlds Buddha. Big Belly Ancient Buddha manifested, with brilliant golden light shining for 10,000 li in all directions. Hundreds of millions of devotees immediately knelt down. Then Big Belly Ancient Buddha's words shocked everyone. This manifestation was actually to welcome someone's grand visit. And from Big Belly Ancient Buddha's words, it could be heard that this person's status was extraordinary, even higher than Big Belly Ancient Buddha himself. Some clever people were already guessing who this, Friend Lin, mentioned by Big Belly Ancient Buddha could be. Big Belly Ancient Buddha was an 8-wheel Ancient Buddha, with an important position in the Buddhist clan. Only a few people had higher status than him. What kind of status must someone have for even him to respectfully welcome them? When Big Belly Ancient Buddha manifested, Little May instinctively wanted to kneel down, but her mind was clear and she immediately shook her head to dismiss the thought of kneeling. She was no longer a devotee of the Buddhist clan, she was now Lin Moyu's disciple. Her own teacher's status and position were even higher than Big Belly Ancient Buddha's, so why should she kneel to him? At this moment, Little May felt she was different. Borrowing Lin Moyu's light, she felt her own status had risen greatly. Before, she couldn't even see Dragon subduing Ancient Buddha, and if she did see him she would have to kneel respectfully, not daring to even look. But now, she could stand face to face with him, and even look at him directly. This was all thanks to Lin Moyu. Unconsciously, Little May became more dependent on and admiring of Lin Moyu. Teacher is so amazing. Little May's eyes were full of stars as she looked at Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu smiled. He knew very clearly it was the power of his fists. Even though he had hurt them, they still had to respect him and treat him very well. In this world, reason always stands with the stronger fist. A golden ray of light descended from the Buddha statue, landing in front of Lin Moyu. The golden light transformed into a golden road leading straight to the top of the Buddha statue. Respectfully welcome Friend Lin. The majestic voice resounded throughout the city as Big Belly Ancient Buddha spoke again, actively inviting Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu brought Little May with him as he stepped onto the golden light. The light automatically contracted, carrying Lin Moyu and Little May towards the Buddha statue. At this time, everyone looked up at the two people on the golden light. In the golden light, both of them looked as if they were wearing golden clothes, like immortals or gods. At the same time, many people had questions in their minds. Who is this Friend Lin? How can a third-level Tao Venerable deserve this? Perhaps his status is different. Sometimes, realm doesn't represent everything. Could he be a descendant of some human race sacred ground ancestor? But even so, it wouldn't be worth Big Belly Ancient Buddha treating him like this. That's right, unless it was the sacred ground ancestor himself coming, a descendant certainly wouldn't make Big Belly Ancient Buddha welcome him like this. Countless people were full of confusion. What was happening before their eyes had exceeded their understanding. No matter how they guessed, they could never guess that the real reason Big Belly Ancient Buddha was so respectful was because Lin Moyu had subdued him with force. No status or position was as effective as fists. The golden light carried Lin Moyu and Little May to the top of the Buddha statue. Then space shifted, and the two saw a Buddha hall. This Buddha hall wasn't large, much smaller than the Big Belly Buddha hall in the city. But this Buddha hall was more exquisite, and the aura it emitted was unusual. Little May exclaimed in admiration, "This Buddha hall is so exquisite." Lin Moyu smiled and asked, How is it exquisite? Little May said with some innocence, it's just a feeling. It looks very exquisite, different from all the Buddha halls I've seen. Along the way, Little May had seen many Buddha halls. Those Buddha halls were not the same as the one before her eyes. Lin Moyu smiled and said, because those Buddha halls were just Buddha halls. This one before us isn't a Buddha hall, it's a magical treasure. Little May's eyes lit up, really? Lin Moyu nodded, it's a magical treasure, and a very powerful one at that, at least 7th level Dao Venerable. At this time, a loud laugh came from inside the Buddha hall. Friend Lin, what good eyesight. Then, a short and fat Buddha walked out of the Buddha hall. His head was round like a ball, his face full of smiles. Large earlobes hung from his left and right ears, looking very auspicious. Especially his belly, which was mostly exposed, unable to be covered by his kasaya. Behind him, an 8-wheel halo shone brightly, telling the world he was a powerful 8-wheel ancient Buddha. Lin Moyu bowed slightly. Lin Moyu greets Big Belly Ancient Buddha. Big Belly Ancient Buddha immediately returned the bow. This humble one greets friend Lin. Lin Moyu's attitude was relatively mild, while Big Belly Ancient Buddha's attitude was extremely respectful. Little May could see at a glance that her teacher's status was higher than this Big Belly Ancient Buddha. Lin Moyu looked at Big Belly Ancient Buddha and suddenly asked, may I ask what relationship Big Belly Ancient Buddha has with Maitreya Ancient Buddha? Big Belly Ancient Buddha laughed heartily, indeed nothing can be hidden from friend Lin. This old monk has prepared good tea, please have a taste. Lin Moyu didn't stand on ceremony, then I'll trouble you. Entering the Buddha hall, a huge tea table was already set up there. Big Belly Ancient Buddha walked to the tea table and sat down, beginning to brew tea. Although his body was very fat, his tea brewing movements were still smooth, not affected at all. Little May curiously looked around the interior of the Buddha hall. In the Buddha hall, there wasn't a single Buddha statue, it was completely empty. But thinking about it, the greatest Buddha in this Buddha nation was right in front of them, so there was no need for other Buddha statues. And this greatest Buddha was now brewing tea for her teacher. The fragrance of tea spread, making people feel invigorated just by smelling it, their souls becoming clearer. As Big Belly Ancient Buddha brewed tea, he slowly said, the 3 lives secret technique is our Buddhist clan's highest secret technique. Unlike avatar techniques, it's not easy to cultivate. He cultivated the 3 lives secret technique, splitting into 3, becoming Green Lamp Ancient Buddha, Tathagata Buddha, and Maitreya Buddha. Friend Lin knows that Green Lamp Ancient Buddha is called the past Buddha, Tathagata is the present Buddha, and Maitreya is the future Buddha. The 3 Buddhas can split and merge. When merged they become the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch, when split they are 3 9-wheel ancient Buddhas. But even when merged, they still couldn't reach the 9 wheels unified realm. So, the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch created a new secret technique based on the 3 lives secret technique, called the 2 worlds Buddha. He split his Buddha body again into 2, from 3 to 6. Each Buddha body cultivates separately. If they can cultivate to become 2 worlds Buddhas, then merge again, perhaps each Buddha body could reach the pseudo 9 wheels unified realm. Then merging the 3 pseudo 9 wheels unified Buddhas using the 3 lives secret technique, perhaps they could reach the true 9 wheels unified realm. And I am Maitreya Buddha's present world Buddha body, while the Maitreya Buddha friend Lin saw before is the past world Buddha body. After Big Belly Buddha's explanation, Lin Moyu understood the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch's intentions. He was afraid one path wouldn't work, so he had prepared a second path. This path was to split the 3 lives Buddha bodies again into 2 each, which could also be seen as evolving the 3 lives secret technique into a 6 lives secret technique. The 3 lives Buddha Patriarch is indeed a genius. No wonder Maitreya Buddha had no reaction before. Big Belly Ancient Buddha smiled and said, because at that time, the will was dominated by the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch, with the will residing in Green Lamp Ancient Buddha. Maitreya Buddha and Tathagata Buddha were just shells at that time. Lin Moyu thought for a moment, if I'm not mistaken, Tathagata Buddha's present world body should be that great Sun Buddha, right? Chapter 3252, 3252. Chapter 3252, I think he's quite pitiful. Big Belly Ancient Buddha laughed happily, friend Lin has keen insight. It is indeed that great Sun Ancient Buddha. Lin Moyu said, you don't need to praise me. My eyes aren't that good. At least I couldn't find Green Lamp Ancient Buddha's present life body. Big Belly Ancient Buddha laughed even more happily, not being able to find it is correct. It would be a problem if you could find it. Lin Moyu heard the hidden meaning in his words. I'd like to hear the details. Big Belly Ancient Buddha said, Green Lamp Ancient Buddha doesn't have a present life body at all. He is just himself. Lin Moyu was slightly stunned. Green Lamp Ancient Buddha didn't cultivate the two worlds Buddha's secret technique himself. Big Belly Ancient Buddha's smile didn't change as he poured fragrant tea, not directly answering. Lin Moyu showed a thoughtful expression, as if pondering why. The Three Lives Buddha Patriarch was an undoubted genius, not only mastering the Buddhist clan's highest secret technique to become the #1 figure in countless years, but also innovating based on the Three Lives technique to create the Two Worlds Buddha technique, pushing the Three Lives technique to a new level, changing from 1 splitting into 3 to 1 splitting into 6. On the basis of the past, present and future three-world Buddhas, he further evolved past life bodies and present life bodies for each. After full cultivation, the past life body and present life body would merge, then the past, present and future three-world Buddhas would merge. This way, cultivation could advance further, with the goal of reaching the Nine Wheels unified realm. Now, the future Buddha Maitreya was almost done cultivating the two-world bodies. The present Buddha Tathagata was also about to complete the two-world bodies cultivation, with Great Sun Ancient Buddha already reaching 8 wheels. But Green Lamp Ancient Buddha actually hadn't cultivated the two-world bodies, which seemed wrong to Lin Moyu. Although he didn't understand the two worlds body technique, he could see it emphasized yin-yang balance. When merging, balance was also important. If Green Lamp Ancient Buddha couldn't cultivate the two-world bodies, this secret technique couldn't succeed. There must be a reason why Green Lamp Ancient Buddha didn't cultivate the two-world bodies. After a moment, Lin Moyu seemed to understand. He connected all the causes and effects, then raised his teacup. Then let's use this tea to congratulate friend on your imminent success. Big Belly Ancient Buddha smiled. Friend Lin has figured it out again. Lin Moyu smiled. The 7 Treasures Pagoda. Big Belly Ancient Buddha suddenly laughed loudly. Friend Lin is truly a heaven-sent talent. In this world, whoever becomes Friend Lin's enemy probably won't even be able to enter reincarnation. Lin Moyu smiled. Buddha Patriarch praises me too much. Big Belly Ancient Buddha's laughter carried curiosity. I'm quite curious how Friend Lin figured it out. Lin Moyu said, it's not actually difficult. Since the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch could create a secret technique like the Two Worlds Buddha, he naturally has the ability to cultivate it. The reason he himself doesn't cultivate it must be due to some external factors. If I'm not mistaken, cultivating the Two Worlds Buddha's secret technique requires splitting the soul again, and the split-off soul needs to find a suitable magical treasure to reside in. For example, your soul resides in this Buddha hall. I guess the reason Green Lamp Ancient Buddha hasn't cultivated the Two Worlds Buddha is because he couldn't find a suitable magical treasure for his soul to reside in. Now that I've brought the 7 Treasures Pagoda, his soul has a place to reside, so he can naturally cultivate the Two Worlds Buddha's secret technique. With the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch's talent, it won't take many years to complete cultivation. Then he can achieve 9 wheels unification. Big Belly Ancient Buddha asked again, then how is Friend Lin certain we will definitely succeed? Lin Moyu smiled, a premonition. I've always believed in my premonitions. I feel this will definitely succeed. Previously, because Green Lamp Ancient Buddha could never find a suitable magical treasure, he took another path, scheming against 3 races in an attempt to advance through destiny. But now, with the 7 Treasures Pagoda, he can take the path of self-cultivation. Moreover, Lin Moyu had also seen the changes in the Buddhist clan's destiny. Great fortune had arisen, so a legendary figure was likely to appear in the clan. That's why Lin Moyu offered congratulations in advance. He didn't intend to stop the Buddhist clan from producing a Great Tao realm equivalent powerhouse. Comprehending the destiny Great Tao, he knew clearly that once great fortune appeared, if he tried to stop it, he would definitely pay a huge price, possibly greatly reducing his own destiny. Besides that, he would create great karma with the Buddhist clan, which wasn't necessary. No matter how strong Green Lamp Ancient Buddha became, it would take at least 10,000 years to truly complete 9 wheels unification. In 10,000 years, he might have become a Great Tao realm being himself, so he wouldn't need to fear the other party at all. Big Belly Ancient Buddha smiled. If we succeed this time, we must thank Friend Lin for bringing the 7 Treasures Pagoda. We won't forget this great kindness. Lin Moyu smiled. You shouldn't forget, I killed quite a few Buddhas. Big Belly Ancient Buddha didn't mind at all. Everyone has their own fate. The reason they died was because their time was up. It doesn't have much to do with Friend Lin. Even if they didn't die by friend Lin's hand, they would have died from various accidents someday. He completely glossed over what Lin Moyu had done. Those ancient Buddhas who had cultivated hard for tens of thousands of years had died in vain. Lin Moyu said, "Big Belly Ancient Buddha, you truly live up to your name." Big Belly Ancient Buddha laughed heartily, "That's right, one must think openly about everything." Lin Moyu smiled, "This Lin is now quite interested in your clan's 3 lives secret technique." Big Belly Ancient Buddha casually tossed over a jade tablet, "Please take a look, friend Lin." Lin Moyu didn't immediately take it. "This is your clan's highest secret technique. You're just giving it to me like this. Aren't you afraid I'll spread it?" Big Belly Ancient Buddha laughed, "It is indeed the highest secret technique, but also the most difficult. Even if outsiders get it, it's useless. They can't cultivate it at all. Actually, if friend Lin wants it, you could buy it from the 3 ancestors. Perhaps all the major human race sacred grounds have our clan's secret techniques." It was the highest secret technique, but not the highest secret. Since the Buddhist clan was willing to spread the secret technique, there must be a reason. Lin Moyu smiled and took the jade tablet, carefully looking at its contents. The jade tablet contained not only the 3 lives secret technique, but also the cultivation method for the 2 worlds Buddha. After reading it, Lin Moyu returned the jade tablet to Big Belly Ancient Buddha, shaking his head lightly, "Indeed, I can't cultivate it." Big Belly Ancient Buddha already knew this result and smiled, "Does friend Lin have any insights?" Lin Moyu shook his head, "I don't want to gain insights. It's all your Buddhist clan's stuff. I'm afraid if I gain too many insights, one day I might lose my mind and join your Buddhist clan." Big Belly Ancient Buddha said, "How is that possible? With friend Lin's Tao heart, who could shake it?" Lin Moyu said, "No, no, no. Everyone has weaknesses. I'm no exception." Big Belly Ancient Buddha asked curiously, joking, "Then what is friend Lin's weakness?" Lin Moyu also joked, "I'll tell you when I find it." Big Belly Ancient Buddha laughed even louder, "Friend Lin is truly an interesting person." The two chatted for a long time before Lin Moyu left with Little May. Only after leaving the main city did Little May say, "This Big Belly Buddha is really interesting. Not serious at all, completely different from other Buddhas." Lin Moyu smiled, "Living beings have emotions of joy and anger. This Big Belly Ancient Buddha is the joy among the 3 lives Buddha Patriarch's emotions. So he has no sorrow and always smiles." Little May said with some envy, "So that's how it is. Being able to be happy every day is really nice." Lin Moyu shook his head, "I actually think he's quite pitiful." Chapter 3253, 3253. Chapter 3253, How did they disappear so quickly? With Little May's current level of understanding, she couldn't comprehend Lin Moyu's words. She didn't know why someone who was always smiling could be pitiful. In her mind, Big Belly Ancient Buddha had status, power, and could be so happy every day, so why would he be pitiful? Lin Moyu sighed, "Without sorrow, where does joy come from? A person's 7 emotions are all relative. Missing even one means you're not a complete person." Little May murmured, "Joy, anger, worry, thought, sorrow, fear, surprise. Teacher, do you ever feel afraid?" Lin Moyu said, "I used to be afraid, but after being afraid so many times I got used to it. Perhaps deep in my soul there's still fear, but as long as your Tao heart is strong, you can control all kinds of emotions. It's like people who don't show joy or anger on their faces. It's not that they don't have those emotions, they're just able to control them. This is the second principle of cultivation I want to teach you. You must cultivate your Tao heart. To become a truly strong person, you need an extremely powerful Tao heart. In many cases, the Tao heart is even more important than cultivation realm." Little May asked, "Then what exactly is the Tao heart?" Lin Moyu shook his head, "It's hard to explain. You need to experience it yourself. But I can tell you 2 words, control." Little May firmly remembered these 2 words. Although she didn't fully understand now, she believed she would naturally understand in the future. In Lin Moyu's view, Big Belly Ancient Buddha was pitiful. He had seen the 3 lives secret technique and the 2 worlds Buddha technique. He knew that when splitting the soul, in order to keep each part of the soul relatively complete, emotions had to be integrated into them. The 7 emotions were split, then controlled by the Tao heart. So Big Belly Ancient Buddha only had the emotion of joy. But without sorrow, where does joy come from? Often, those who laugh the happiest are fools. That's why Lin Moyu felt Big Belly Ancient Buddha was pitiful. Only when they merge back into one will they become a complete individual again, truly returning to their original state. But that still needs time. Nine Wheels unification is equivalent to breaking through to the Great Tao realm. It's not so easy. Lin Moyu continued leading Little May, measuring the Buddha realm step by step. When they got tired of walking, they would ride the cloud-piercing sword and cultivate. When they finished cultivating, they would continue walking. The two moved very quickly. With Lin Moyu's help, Little May's speed imperceptibly reached an unprecedented level, though Little May didn't notice this. Lin Moyu silently used the Space Great Tao, giving Little May some illusions. After a month, the two had crossed the entire Buddha realm. After leaving the Buddha realm, Lin Moyu increased their speed again. The two advanced through Buddhist territory. After seeing the prosperity of the Buddha realm, looking at other Buddha nations gave a feeling of returning to simplicity. Fortunately, no matter which Buddha nation they were in, most people had food to eat and wouldn't go hungry. Because Buddhist cultivation required vast numbers of devotees, they wouldn't be too harsh on their followers. Finally, after 2 months, the two arrived at the edge of Buddhist territory. They came to a cliff. Below the cliff was a rushing river. 1,000 meters away on the opposite shore was Dragon Race territory. This was the border between the Buddhist clan and Dragon Race, called the Buddha Dragon Gorge. The Dragon Race's territory is ahead. Standing here, Little May should be able to see the Dragon Race. Lin Moyu pointed ahead, gesturing for Little May to look. Little May strained her eyes to look and indeed saw several enormous creatures. I see them. They seem to be sleeping. Several elemental giant dragons were lying on the ground, seemingly asleep. On the vast land, there were quite a few elemental giant dragons. Most were sleeping, with only a few awake. Lin Moyu smiled. They are indeed sleeping. They spend most of their time sleeping. Sometimes they can sleep for hundreds of years at a time. Little May stuck out her tongue. They can sleep for so long. Don't dragons need to cultivate? Lin Moyu said. Sleeping is a form of cultivation for them. The Dragon Race's cultivation methods are different from ours. They rely more on bloodline. Even while sleeping, their strength gradually increases. Little May exclaimed, that's so nice. Lin Moyu said, don't forget what I've told you. This world is balanced between yin and yang. Good and bad are relative. Although the Dragon Race has the advantage of bloodline, they're also limited by it. Their growth limit is also determined by bloodline. Sometimes no matter how hard they try, it's useless. Little May said, oh, and nodded, I see. That's not good then. It would make people despair. Over these few months, Little May had seen the vast world. Her thinking had matured a lot compared to before, and she could more easily see to the root of things. Lin Moyu smiled, let's go. We need to cross the entire Dragon Race territory. There's still a long way to go. Little May can also take a good look in Dragon territory. They're very different from the Buddhist clan. Lin Moyu had Little May sit on the cloud-piercing sword and slowly flew towards the opposite shore. Flying over the 1,000-meter-wide Buddha Dragon Gorge, they could see the rushing river below. This great river ran through the entire western continent, flowing into the Boundary Sea. Lin Moyu suddenly stopped and said, Little May, do you know the two races bordering the Buddhist clan? One is the Dragon Race, what's the other? Little May said, teacher said it's the insect race. Lin Moyu nodded. Little May probably hasn't seen the insect race before, right? Little May nodded vigorously, indicating she hadn't seen them. Actually, this was her first time seeing the Dragon Race too, and she had only seen elemental giant dragons, which didn't count as true Dragon Race members. Lin Moyu said, you'll be able to see the insect race soon. Little May's eyes lit up, really? What does the insect race look like? Lin Moyu smiled, they're not very good looking. Don't be scared. As he spoke, Lin Moyu slowly raised his hand and punched towards the rushing river in the Buddha Dragon Gorge. Terrifying power descended. The river instantly exploded into a water column thousands of meters high, shooting straight into the sky before turning into rain and falling back down. Along with the water column, sharp roars rang out. Countless insect warriors burst out from the river. These insect warriors each had Tao Venerable level combat power. They weren't weak. And there were many of them, numbering in the tens of millions. They had been hiding in the river and were discovered by Lin Moyu. Their original purpose was no longer important. What mattered was that he had discovered them, and they had developed hostility towards him. Since that was the case, he would strike first. Little May was startled. There are so many. Lin Moyu smiled. They're just small fry. No matter how many there are, what use is it? He lightly pointed a finger, and the skeleton hell appeared, instantly swallowing all 100,000 insect warriors. In just a few seconds, all 100,000 insect warriors had become food for the hell fiends. Little May said blankly, how did they disappear so quickly? Lin Moyu said, when the cultivation gap reaches a certain level, numbers lose meaning. Only when the cultivation difference isn't too great can many ants bite an elephant to death. This seemed to be another principle. Little May firmly remembered it. At this time, Little May noticed that the dragons who had been sleeping were awakened by the battle. They've all woken up. The dragon race was very sensitive to the aura of their mortal enemy, the insect race. They all sensed the dragon insect aura. Just as they were preparing to fight, they found that the insect race's aura had completely disappeared. Some dragons looked towards Lin Moyu. Clearly, it was Lin Moyu who had acted to wipe out those insects. Chapter 3254, 3254. Chapter 3254, You Dare to Come to Dragon Territory. After casually wiping out the insect race, Lin Moyu officially entered dragon race territory. He thought these insects may not have been coming for him, but were likely planning to ambush the elemental giant dragons here. He happened to encounter them, and since he had the insect race's aura on him, they targeted him instead. The insect warriors had a unique connection method with their insect queens. This method was very special, able to instantly transmit information no matter the distance. Compared to it, the communication methods of other races were far inferior. Each race had their own characteristics, and the insect race had their own advantages. Previously in the Western Paradise of Ultimate Bliss, Lin Moyu had casually blown up a 9th-level Dao Venerable Insect Queen. After the Insect Queen died, some information fell onto him. This aura was very faint, but Lin Moyu had already found it, though he hadn't removed it yet. Lin Moyu wasn't afraid of the insect race coming to cause trouble. If they really came, he could let the skeleton hell feast on them, since they already had an old grudge. Originally, Lin Moyu had considered that after finding the hell fragment and having the skeleton hell devour it, there was a high probability the skeleton hell would undergo a qualitative change. After the change, the skeleton hell would need vast amounts of energy to replenish itself. The insect race would be a good food source. However, directly going to find them himself, while not a problem, would create a lot of unnecessary karma. If he could make them come find him, the result would be completely different. Sometimes, if you want to kill someone, you don't necessarily have to take the initiative. So Lin Moyu didn't erase the aura the insect race had left on him. In this state, as long as he entered insect race territory, he would be like a huge beacon, and vast numbers of insects would actively seek him out. Entering dragon race territory, those elemental giant dragons immediately surrounded him. These elemental giant dragons had cultivations ranging from peak Venerable Lord to 4th level Dao Venerable at the strongest. However, there weren't many of them, only about 200 in total. If they were entangled by 100,000 Dao Venerable level insect warriors, with the dragon race's combat power, they might not necessarily lose, but some would certainly die here. This time Lin Moyu's actions helped them avoid unnecessary casualties. The lead elemental giant dragon came before Lin Moyu and sniffed hard. You have the aura of our dragon race elders on you. You must be a friend of our dragon race. At the time, the dragon race's great elder Ao Luo had indeed left an aura on him as a kind of mark. The dragon race's aura marks had many types. Killing dragons would result in a hateful aura, while helping the dragon race would result in dragon race members actively leaving an aura recognizing you as a friend of the dragon race. The auras also had levels. The aura on Lin Moyu was very high level, left by an elder. Lin Moyu said, "Could dragon friend please tell me where the nearest dragon city is?" The elemental giant dragon pointed in a direction without hesitation. Yellow Dragon City is over there, about 2,000 li away. Lin Moyu smiled, "Many thanks." With that, Lin Moyu headed towards Yellow Dragon City. His speed was extremely fast, disappearing from the dragon's sight in an instant. After Lin Moyu left, the lead elemental giant dragon said softly, "This person is extraordinary. Notify the Legion commander and report what just happened." A dragon race member immediately went to notify their Legion commander. Lin Moyu, a 3rd-level Dao Venerable human cultivator, could easily kill hundreds of thousands of insect warriors. Even if these insect warriors were only first-level Dao venerables, it shouldn't be so easy to kill them. Clearly, Lin Moyu's combat power was extraordinary. This unusual event naturally needed to be reported up the chain. Little May asked curiously, "Teacher, are we going to the Dragon City?" Lin Moyu nodded, "Let's go take a look, just for fun. We'll also see what a dragon race city is like." Little May asked, "Teacher hasn't seen one before either." Lin Moyu shook his head lightly, "No, I haven't." He thought of the Dragon City in his small world, but that Dragon City was only built by mixed-blood dragons and should be different from the dragon cities on the origin continent. Little May had a hint of anticipation, wondering what would be in the Dragon City. Lin Moyu said, "No need to think too much. You'll naturally know when we get there." 2,000 li wasn't far for Lin Moyu. If not for Little May's presence, he could have arrived in the blink of an eye. The Yang origin disappeared, and the Yin origin occupied the entire world. Little May woke from cultivation and sniffed hard at Lin Moyu's scent. "Teacher, why does your scent become even more fragrant when the Yin origin comes out?" As the embodiment of Yin power, whenever the Yin origin was dominant, all of Lin Moyu's powers would increase by 30% out of nowhere. Similarly, the aura on his body would change accordingly, becoming stronger and purer. To Little May, this meant it smelled even better. Lin Moyu smiled, "If it smells good, then smell more." A city appeared in their view, and then they saw giant dragons flying out of the city, disappearing into the clouds. The dragon city was magnificent and huge, with enormous city walls outside. At the four corners of the city walls were 4 giant dragon statues. These 4 dragon statues were gold, green, blue, and red respectively. In the center of the city was another huge statue of a yellow dragon, representing that this was Yellow Dragon City. Lin Moyu asked, "Little May, let me test you again. What do these 5 differently colored giant dragons represent?" Little May thought for a moment. Gold, green, blue, red, yellow, they should represent the 5 elements of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. Lin Moyu said, "Correct. In the dragon race, there's a branch called elemental giant dragons. Within the elemental dragons are 5 elemental dragons, and the yellow dragon is earth element. The distinction between elemental dragons is simple, usually distinguishable by color. Yellow dragons are earth element. The green dragon that poisoned you before belongs to the poison element category." Little May's curiosity was piqued. "Are there others besides elemental dragons?" Lin Moyu said, "Of course there are. Elemental giant dragons are actually the weakest branch in the dragon race. Their weakness isn't in realm, but in bloodline. The dragon race is a race that values bloodline. The strength of bloodline can determine their upper limit. For them, bloodline is more important than realm." Then Lin Moyu patiently explained the structure of the dragon race to Little May in detail. Above elemental giant dragons were sacred giant dragons, and above them were divine dragons. The 3 were distinguished by bloodline, unrelated to realm. Divine dragons had the strongest bloodline and highest status, being the true direct line of the dragon race. Sacred giant dragons could be considered a collateral branch. Some considered them part of the dragon race, while others didn't. Elemental giant dragons weren't even as good as a collateral branch, but they were nominally members of the dragon race and all wanted to strive to advance their bloodline to become true dragons. After listening, Little May murmured, "It's so complicated, with bloodlines, direct and collateral lines, and all sorts of attributes." Lin Moyu laughed, "You'll understand gradually." They finally arrived before Yellow Dragon City, and a strong sense of pressure came at them. The city walls of Yellow Dragon City were 100 meters high. Little May craned her neck to look at the city gate, "It's so tall." Lin Moyu said, "Dragon race cities should all be very tall and large. They like to use their true forms most of the time." Outside the city gate, besides dragons, there were also humans coming and going. These humans were mostly merchants, with occasional adventurers seeking treasures. Lin Moyu was about to enter when suddenly a harsh shout rang out. "You dare to come to dragon territory." Chapter 3255. 3255. Chapter 3255. "I'll cut off his head for Mr. Lin as a drinking snack." In a mysterious void, a figure appeared. If Lin Moyu were here, he would likely be grinding his teeth in hatred. The man wore a green robe and had set up a tea table in the void, leisurely drinking tea. The tea fragrance drifted through the void, spreading for 10,000 li without dissipating. Yet in his teapot, there was only a single tea leaf. The green-robed elder drank alone in the void, eyes half closed as he gazed into the depths of the void, looking at who knows what. After a while, a white-robed elder appeared beside the tea table. He sat down without ceremony, took out his own teacup, and poured himself some tea. The two elders, one in green and one in white, drank tea together in the void. After a few cups, the white-robed elder finally spoke. He's obtained the 3 lives secret technique. The green-robed elder watched the white-robed elder gulp down tea like a cow drinking water, his eyes revealing a hint of distress. You shouldn't drink tea like that. Good tea should be savored. The white-robed elder said irritably, you only put in 1 tea leaf, what's there to savor? The green-robed elder snorted, you say that so easily. Why don't you produce a leaf then? The white-robed elder suddenly changed the subject, will the little fellow succeed? The green-robed elder said, whether he succeeds or not depends on him. Let's hope he can. Outside Yellow Dragon City, Lin Moyu saw a divine dragon fly out from the city, circling in the sky and looking down at him. This yellow dragon was none other than the one who had fled after being beaten by Lin Moyu in the Buddha realm. Though only a 3rd-level Tao Venerable divine dragon, his status in an outer city like Yellow Dragon City would certainly not be low. Lin Moyu smiled calmly, I didn't expect to meet you again here. Have your injuries healed? Lin Moyu's attitude was like meeting an old acquaintance, forming a stark contrast with the other side. The yellow dragon's eyes held hatred. I didn't expect you to be so bold as to dare come to dragon territory seeking death. Since you've come, don't think about leaving. He let out a long roar, dragon cries echoing. The entire Yellow Dragon City suddenly stirred. Divine dragons soared into the sky one after another. In an instant, over a dozen divine dragons appeared in midair. Besides divine dragons, there were also many sacred giant dragons, adding up to over 100. These divine dragons varied in realm, from Tao Venerable at the lowest to 3rd-level Tao Venerable at the highest. None exceeded 4th-level Tao Venerable. A few sacred giant dragons had 4th-level Tao Venerable cultivation, but their status wasn't high enough, so they could only follow the divine dragon's orders. Amidst waves of dragon roars, they surrounded Lin Moyu and Little Mei. The yellow dragon growled, you're dead. Don't think about escaping. Lin Moyu was completely unfazed. These fellows were like clay chickens and pottery dogs in his eyes. He smiled lightly at the yellow dragon, it seems your status isn't low. The city lord of Yellow Dragon City is called Huang-san, right? What's your relationship to him? The yellow dragon said in a low voice, I'm the young city lord of Yellow Dragon City, named Huang Yuan. This is my territory. You can die without regrets now. Lin Moyu smiled, wasn't your nose quite sensitive last time? Have your injuries not fully healed, that you can't sense the aura on me? And you should understand one thing, last time wasn't you being lucky, but me being in a good mood, so I let you go. If I had wanted to kill you, you couldn't have escaped. Since you're so forgetful, let me teach you another lesson. As he spoke, Lin Moyu suddenly punched towards the sky, throwing hundreds of punches in an instant. Countless huge fist shadows rushed towards the sky, covering the entire sky from below. You dare to attack? Huang Yuan roared angrily, spitting out dragon breath. The other divine dragons and sacred giant dragons also attacked, using various techniques. But their attacks shattered the moment they touched the fist shadows. The fists broke through to the sky like splitting bamboo. The next second, miserable screams rang out as the previously aggressive dragons fell from the sky one after another. Their scales were shattered, their flesh mangled by the fists. Dragon blood flowed freely as each one was severely injured, in a miserable state. Divine dragon after divine dragon felt their bones were about to break. They fell to the ground, unable to move. Huang Yuan also fell to the ground, but he still growled, you dare to attack here? You're dead. My father will definitely kill you. Wanting me dead isn't so easy. Lin Moyu suddenly shouted loudly, Huang-san, come out and meet me. Lin Moyu's voice echoed throughout the city, making the entire Yellow Dragon City rumble. Huang Yuan growled, it's useless even if you call my father out. Before he could finish speaking, Lin Moyu suddenly punched him in the head again, shut up. Or I'll kill you right now. This punch left Huang Yuan dazed and seeing stars, unable to speak. At this time, many more dragon race members flew over, looking at Lin Moyu with hostile gazes. This was Yellow Dragon City, dragon race territory. How dare Lin Moyu, a mere 3rd-level Tao Venerable human, attack and injure dragons here? And the one injured was Huang Yuan, the young city lord of Yellow Dragon City. However, these dragon race members didn't immediately attack. Even Huang Yuan had been beaten so badly, if they attacked, they would just be going to their deaths. A dragon roar sounded from within Yellow Dragon City. Then a divine dragon shot into the sky, yellow wind sweeping up from the ground, the earth trembling. Huang San rode the yellow wind as he flew towards Lin Moyu. The city lord is here. The city lord looks very angry. Huang Yuan must have told him about being beaten. I heard city lord Huang San dotes on Huang Yuan. Of course, that's his own son. Wouldn't you dote on your son? This guy is finished. Daring to attack and injure dragons in dragon territory, he deserves to die. The dragons discussed endlessly. Lin Moyu found that dragons also seemed to enjoy watching drama unfold. It seems gossip is human nature, the same for any race. Huang San arrived on the yellow wind, landing heavily in front of Lin Moyu. As he landed, he transformed into human form. To everyone's shock, Huang San bowed respectfully to Lin Moyu. Huang San greets Mr. Lin. He used a human greeting, indicating he had set aside dragon pride. Moreover, he addressed Lin Moyu as Mr., showing he truly respected Lin Moyu from the heart. Lin Moyu smiled. City Lord Huang San, it's been many days. You seem to have recovered well. Huang San smiled. Thanks to Mr. Lin, Huang San was able to keep his life in return. Our dragon race was able to survive the danger. Lin Moyu glanced at Huang Yuan still lying on the ground. This is your son. Huang San nodded. Yes. Did this brat offend Mr. Lin? I'll cut off his head right now to serve as a drinking snack for Mr. Lin. The surrounding dragons were completely stunned hearing this. Huang San usually doted so much on his son, but now he said he would cut off his son's head to serve as a drinking snack for someone. This was his own son. Even tigers don't eat their cubs. What was wrong with Huang San? Has City Lord Huang San gone mad? Even if he's a dragon god, he doesn't need to do this. Who exactly is this person? City Lord Huang San just said he saved the dragon race. What exactly happened? While others thought this, Huang Yuan's eyes were filled with a complex mix of emotions. His own father had actually said he would personally cut off his head to serve as someone's drinking snack. These words exploded like thunder in his mind. His heart had completely collapsed. Just who was this Lin person? Chapter 3256, 3256. Chapter 3256. I feel the clan leader would be the one to die. Lin Moyu naturally knew Huang San was joking. He said this not because he really wanted to cut off his own son's head, but to speak up for his son. Regardless of the reason, since he had said that, Lin Moyu couldn't very well continue to pursue the matter. Lin Moyu smiled and said, City Lord Huang San, it seems you really dote on your son. Huang San understood that Lin Moyu had understood his meaning. He said shamelessly, this rascal usually doesn't listen well. Being taught a lesson by Mr. Lin today is his good fortune. Lin Moyu said, well, since he's already been taught a lesson, let's leave it at that. Huang San said repeatedly, thank you for your magnanimity, Mr. Lin. As he spoke, he turned and kicked Huang Yuan in the head. Stop playing dead. Hurry up and thank Mr. Lin for sparing your life. Huang Yuan cried out in pain from the kick. It hurt a lot, and it hit him right on the nose, causing tears to instantly fall. Huang Yuan endured the pain and had no choice but to transform into human form. With his head hanging low, he bowed to Lin Moyu, thank you for sparing my life, Mr. Lin. Although he looked arrogant, he wasn't stupid. Seeing his father's attitude, he knew this Lin fellow wasn't someone he could afford to offend. This time he had really kicked an iron plate. The 2 beatings he received were for nothing. Huang San smiled and said, Mr. Lin, have you come to the dragon race to find some of the elders? Lin Moyu shook his head, no, I'm just passing through dragon territory and thought I'd bring my disciple to see the world, just casually looking around in dragon territory. Huang San asked, then should we notify the elders? Lin Moyu said, whatever, no need to be too formal. I'm just walking around casually. If we have the chance to meet, we'll meet. If not, it's fine. We'll meet again sooner or later anyway. Huang San nodded, then I'll just mention it to the elders. I expect the elders will want to meet you, Mr. Lin, especially the clan leader. After returning last time, he said he must properly pay his respects to Mr. Lin when he has the chance. Lin Moyu smiled, if that's the case, then let's leave it to fate. The two chatted for a while, then Lin Moyu brought Little May into Yellow Dragon City. He didn't want Huang San to follow, just wanting to casually look around with Little May. Naturally, Huang San didn't dare have any objections. Even after they left, over 100 dragons were still lying around. Lin Moyu hadn't held back. These dragons' bones were basically all broken, and there was death energy in his fists continuously corroding the injured areas, making it difficult for them to recover. Huang San could only feel helpless about this, but Lin Moyu had shown restraint. These fellows would naturally recover after lying around for a while longer. After Lin Moyu left, Huang San said softly to Huang Yuan, "Why did you provoke Mr. Lin? Couldn't you sense the aura on Mr. Lin?" Huang Yuan said somewhat innocently, "After being injured by him last time, although my injuries have healed, there are still some aftereffects. My sensitivity to auras isn't very good." Huang San said, "It's fortunate nothing major happened. You little brat are lucky Mr. Lin didn't hold it against you." Huang Yuan hung his head, his voice weak. "Why were you so polite to that guy, father?" Huang San looked at his useless son. "Mr. Lin has done our dragon race a great service. And do you know how strong Mr. Lin is?" Huang Yuan said softly, "He's only 3rd level Dao Venerable. How strong can he be? Is he stronger than you, father?" Huang San lowered his voice. "It's precisely because he's 3rd level Dao Venerable that he's terrifying. He can casually destroy 9-wheel ancient Buddhas. He also casually killed a 9th level insect queen. What am I compared to that?" Huang Yuan's eyes widened. "That's impossible, right?" Huang San shook his head. "Nothing's impossible. This world is vast, with many miraculous things. The higher your cultivation, the broader the world you'll see. Our dragon race's bloodline has flaws, making us innately arrogant. Especially those like you who are born divine dragons, magnifying this flaw to the extreme. While we grow stronger, we must also cultivate our Dao hearts, learning to control our arrogance. Only this way can we live long. The dragon race isn't invincible. There are many who can kill us, and many who aren't afraid of us at all." Huang Yuan seemed to understand a bit, but still had some doubts. "Father, this guy, no, this Mr. Lin, is he really more formidable than the clan leader?" Huang San shook his head. "I don't know, but if he fought the clan leader might not lose. But if it were a fight to the death, I feel the clan leader would be the one to die." Huang Yuan felt a chill down his spine hearing this. "Surely not." Huang San said, "You just remember, never offend him. You were lucky this time. Next time you might not be so fortunate." Huang San still couldn't forget how in the western paradise of ultimate bliss, Lin Moyu had pointed a finger and a powerful 9-wheel ancient Buddha had instantly perished. A bolt of lightning had shot out, killing many ancient Buddhas. The key was Lin Moyu's attitude. At the time, he acted as if he had done something trivial. Afterwards, Elder Ao Luo's evaluation of Lin Moyu was just 4 words, unfathomably deep. Lin Moyu and Little May walked through Yellow Dragon City. Yellow Dragon City was an outer city of the dragon race, not considered prosperous compared to the inner cities. However, it already had many characteristics of dragon race cities. For example, everything here was very tall and large. Even an ordinary house was several dozen meters tall, and basically none of the houses here had main doors. It's said that dragons are very impatient, so the main doors kept getting smashed. Eventually they simply stopped installing doors. There were no formations in Yellow Dragon City. All dragon race members are born warriors, so they don't need formations for protection. No one dares to cause trouble here unless they can bear the wrath of the dragon race. Dragons have bad tempers, but fortunately in most cases they aren't very concerned with rules. This also allows other races to do business in dragon territory, selling things the dragon race needs. The things dragons want are different from other races. They don't have high demands for cultivation resources. What they like are often some strange things, various beautiful and pretty gemstones. Many merchants search for odd and unusual things from all over the world to exchange for cultivation items from the dragon race. Walking on the streets of Yellow Dragon City, Little May also saw many interesting things. She saw some young dragons here. These young dragons already had high cultivation and could transform into human form. Little May remembered what Lin Moyu had said, the dragon race's advantage is their powerful bloodline. They may have strong cultivation from birth. But their limitation is also their bloodline. Often from birth, their upper limit is already set. Little May didn't envy them at all, because with Lin Moyu as an example, little May's standards had become very high. Although she had just entered the door of cultivation, far from the transcendent realm and even further from the Tao Venerable realm, little May already felt that the Tao Venerable realm was just the beginning. Along the way, Lin Moyu explained to little May in detail the key points of each realm of cultivation, speaking very thoroughly. Actually, he shouldn't speak like this to others. In cultivation, one should take it one step at a time. Knowing too much too early is of no benefit to cultivation. But little May was different. Lin Moyu had his own plans for little May's path. Little May was special and didn't need to be like others. So Lin Moyu explained the characteristics and key points of each subsequent realm. He even discussed various great Taos with little May, not formally lecturing but chatting casually, telling little May his understanding of the great Taos. He wasn't afraid little May couldn't accept it. With an innate Tao soul, a soul at the innate level, how could she not accept it? In a short time, little May's theoretical knowledge of cultivation was already not inferior to those strong cultivators who had cultivated for countless years. After touring around Yellow Dragon City, they left and headed north. Chapter 3257, 3257. Chapter 3257, It seems we were destined to meet. The two passed through one dragon city after another. When little May got tired of walking, she would cultivate. After cultivating, she would continue walking. Her cultivation and knowledge grew day by day. Little May was very happy during this time. It was the happiest period of her life since childhood. Previously in the dragon-subduing Buddha nation, there were too many rules, completely suppressing children's natural tendencies. During this time, little May's nature was finally able to be released. This was truly a carefree child. On the road, little May celebrated her 10th birthday, turning from 10 to 11 years old. Although her parents weren't by her side for this birthday, she had Lin Moyu, and also an enormous cake. From birth until now, every one of little May's birthdays had been perfunctory. As for cake, she had never eaten it before. Lin Moyu produced the best cake from the great world. In that moment, little May felt she was the happiest person. After walking in dragon territory for a month, the two finally arrived at the center of the dragon race, Dragon God City. This was the center of the dragon race. Dragon God City was also the capital of the dragon race. Dragon God City had an extraordinary atmosphere. 4 immense divine dragons lay across the 4 sides of the city, their dragon bodies serving as city walls. These 4 huge divine dragons were already dead, but their bodies still emitted a strong aura, as if they could come alive at any moment. After Lin Moyu's teachings along the way, little May's eye for detail was now extraordinary. She could see things that were out of the ordinary. Little May said in a crisp voice, "Teacher, these dragons don't seem to be completely dead." Lin Moyu smiled slightly. "Indeed, they're not completely dead. They left behind their final bit of true spirit. When the dragon race is in danger, they will come back to life to fight for the dragon race." These divine dragons were all at the 9th level Tao Venerable realm when alive. If they were to be revived, they could maintain 9th level Tao Venerable combat power for a short time. Little May said, "It seems they have deep feelings for the dragon race." Lin Moyu smiled and said, "That's natural. In some ways, the dragon race is united." As they spoke, Lin Moyu was already leading little May into Dragon God City. As they walked, he said, "It's said that within the dragon race, there is also a dragon tomb. Only dragon race elders above the 7th level Tao Venerable realm qualify to enter the dragon tomb after death. I guess the dragon race elders in the dragon tomb, like them, are not completely dead. As long as the dragon race is in danger, they can break out of the tomb." Little May asked curiously, "In that case, the dragon race should be very strong, but teacher, you said that the 3 lives Buddha patriarch of the Buddhist clan wanted to scheme against the dragon race. How would he deal with the dragon tomb?" Lin Moyu smiled and said, "That's a good question. I don't know the specific reason either. If you want to know, you can ask the 3 lives Buddha patriarch, or ask the dragon race clan leader. He might know the reason." "Okay, when little May sees them, I'll ask them." Little May was like a newborn calf unafraid of tigers, her bright eyes full of curiosity. Under Lin Moyu's patient guidance, little May had developed a habit of getting to the root of things, constantly seeking the source. For anything, she wanted to know the answer. Lin Moyu felt that little May's way of thinking was becoming more and more like his own. The moment they entered Dragon God City, resounding dragon roars suddenly filled the sky. Clouds and mist surged in the air, and countless divine dragons appeared. These divine dragons moved through the clouds and mist, their bodies radiating brilliant colors, dyeing the sky with colorful clouds. The colors of the clouds were endless, beyond description, with thousands of reds and purples. Little May exclaimed in admiration, "How beautiful!" Lin Moyu smiled slightly, "It seems they are welcoming us." He had Ao Luo's aura on him. When he entered the city, the aura moved slightly, and then he discovered this scene. Little May exclaimed in admiration, "Teacher is amazing. Wherever you go, people welcome you." Under Little May's admiring gaze, the dragon roars in the city grew stronger. Countless rays of light fell from the clouds, landing on Lin Moyu. Then divine dragons flew out from the city with a powerful aura, landing directly in front of Lin Moyu. As they landed, they transformed into human form. Of the three who came, Lin Moyu recognized two, the great elders Ao Luo and Ao Li. In the dragon race's structure, those at the 9th level Dao Venerable realm were all called great elders. On the surface, there was no hierarchy among the great elders. They were not only great elders of the dragon race, but also leaders of their own lineages of dragons. Ao Luo was the leader of the elemental divine dragons, specifically the metal attribute divine dragons. Ao Li was the leader of the earth divine dragons. Both were great elders, but within the dragon race, Ao Luo's status was slightly higher than Ao Li's. Previously in the western paradise of ultimate bliss, Ao Luo had been the leader. It wasn't that Ao Li's strength was inferior to Ao Luo's, just that Ao Luo was a bit smarter and wouldn't act impulsively. As for the person in the middle, it was undoubtedly the dragon race's clan leader, Long Wei. The current clan leader of the dragon race was a female divine dragon. The dragon race was sometimes strange. They said they were different from humans, not calling themselves male and female, but referring to themselves as male and female dragons. But if you were to say to Long Wei, "You are a female dragon," you would certainly be killed on the spot by Long Wei. There were several major surnames in the dragon race. The most numerous was the Ao surname. Most of the dragon race came from this surname. But the highest status belonged to the Long surname. The successive clan leaders of the dragon race all had the Long surname. The Long surname was the imperial surname within the dragon race. Lin Moyu bowed slightly to the three. Human Lin Moyu greets clan leader Long Wei and the two great elders. Long Wei also bowed to Lin Moyu, using human etiquette. "Mr. Lin is too polite. We have been waiting for Mr. Lin for many days. You have finally come." Lin Moyu smiled and said, "Making the clan leader wait so long. It seems we were destined to meet." Along the way, apart from the general direction, Lin Moyu had no specific purpose. He just followed the route northward. Walking and walking, they arrived at Dragon God City. It wasn't intentional. Lin Moyu had said before that if they were destined to meet, they would meet. It really did seem destined. Long Wei smiled and said, "I have already ordered a banquet to be prepared. Please enter the city, Mr. Lin." Lin Moyu smiled and said, "All along the way, apart from wind and sand, I really haven't given my disciple anything good to eat. Today, I'll take advantage of the clan leader's hospitality." Long Wei revealed a brilliant smile. "Mr. Lin is too polite. Please, please come in." She waved her hand, and rays of light fell from the sky, paving a grand road. At the same time, a deafening sound rang out in the city. "Honored guests have arrived. Dragon God City is illuminated. Please welcome the honored guests into the city. Honored guests have arrived. Dragon God City is illuminated. Please welcome the honored guests into the city." The same words echoed through the city. Such a grand ceremony naturally attracted everyone's attention. Countless people looked at the group in the rays of light, exclaiming in surprise. What kind of honored guests are these? Clan leader Long Wei actually went to welcome them personally. Not just clan leader Long Wei, but two great elders are accompanying them. The people who came must be very noble. The so-called honored guests are actually human Dao Venerables, and they look to be only at the 3rd level Dao Venerable realm. This human girl hasn't even reached the transcendent realm. She must have just started cultivating. How can she receive such treatment? It definitely isn't because of their cultivation, but because their status is extraordinary. But even if the leader of a human sacred ground came, clan leader Long Wei wouldn't personally welcome them. It's too strange. I can't understand it. I really can't understand. Amidst the confused voices, Lin Moyu was carried by the rays of light to an exquisitely decorated official hall. Chapter 3258, 3258. Chapter 3258, Just go ahead and eat, don't be polite. The palace of the dragon race clan leader was incredibly exquisite, the most beautiful palace Lin Moyu had ever seen. Little May's eyes lit up as she looked around, but Lin Moyu noticed her attention was clearly not on the palace itself, but on the table of food and wine inside. The aroma wafted over, entering through the nose into the body and then into the soul, incredibly tempting. Lin Moyu knew this banquet prepared by the dragon race was no ordinary affair. The ingredients used were likely all heavenly treasures. This aroma had no effect on him. With his level of Tao heart, he was long past being swayed by external things. What he wanted was only what he himself desired. But it wasn't the same for Little May. She had just begun cultivating, how could she resist such temptation? Even with her innate Tao soul, she couldn't withstand it. Little May's self-control was already quite strong. If it were an ordinary person, they likely would have rushed over to feast already. Little May hadn't done so, and hadn't even said she wanted to eat. She just stared longingly. Could it be that? Lin Moyu's mind stirred as he thought of a legendary possibility. Clan leader Long Wei smiled and said, "Please be seated, Mr. Lin." Lin Moyu said, "You are the host, I am the guest. You sit first." Long Wei didn't stand on ceremony and sat directly in the host's seat. Lin Moyu sat to her left, with Little May beside him. The two great elders sat to Long Wei's right. There weren't many dishes on the table, only 10 plates, and they weren't very large. But each dish was extremely exquisite. Lin Moyu knew these dishes weren't something ordinary people could handle. Each dish contained powerful energy. If a normal person ate more than a few bites, they would likely explode. Little May stared at the dishes, drool reaching the corner of her mouth. At this point, Long Wei explained, "Mr. Lin is surely wondering if there is dragon liver here." Lin Moyu didn't deny it, "I did think about it." Long Wei laughed heartily, "The dish in the middle is indeed dragon liver. This dragon liver comes from a wood attribute divine dragon at the 4th level Tao Venerable realm." Little May was stunned. Dragon liver. Eating dragon liver in dragon territory completely overturned her worldview. Imagine if someone dared to say in front of dragons, "I want to eat your liver." They would certainly be eaten in one bite. Lin Moyu explained, "Legend has it there's a rule in the dragon race that when entertaining the most honored guests, they would extract their own dragon liver, prepare it as a delicacy, and invite the guests to taste it. Dragon liver and phoenix gall are said to be the most delicious foods in the world." The dragon race did indeed have this practice, but it only existed in legend. In reality, no one had ever heard of anyone eating dragon liver. Lin Moyu thought that in the current world, probably only beings like the 3 ancestors would qualify to eat it. Little May never imagined it would be like this. She asked softly, "Is dragon liver really delicious?" Long Wei smiled and said, "Whether it's delicious or not, won't Miss Little May know after taking a bite. It's just that dragon liver is very potent. Mr. Lin should make some preparations." Lin Moyu smiled and said, "It's fine. As long as Little May doesn't eat too quickly, there won't be any problems." Long Wei's eyes lit up slightly, "It seems Miss Little May is also extraordinary. Not everyone can eat dragon liver. Even if they can eat it, they need to be able to withstand it. For dragon liver from a 4th level Tao Venerable, even if a Venerable Lord ate a bite, they would need to refine it carefully. Yet this little girl who had just started cultivating could eat it." Gurgle. Little May's stomach suddenly growled. Long Wei laughed heartily, "Don't wait anymore, Miss Little May. Just go ahead and eat, don't be polite." Lin Moyu also said to Little May, "Don't be polite, eat." Only then did Little May boldly take a piece of dragon liver and carefully put it in her mouth. The dragon liver melted instantly upon entering her mouth. Little May's eyes immediately lit up, "It's so delicious." Then a powerful force exploded within her body. Little May's entire body emitted a glow, and she automatically floated into the air, instantly entering meditation to digest the power within the dragon liver. Lin Moyu looked for a few moments before looking away. He could sense that Little May's innate Tao soul had begun to digest and absorb the power within the dragon liver. The innate level soul was Little May's greatest foundation, which is why Lin Moyu dared to let her eat the dragon liver, and not just one piece. Once this piece of dragon liver was fully digested, she could continue eating. Little May's power was increasing at an astonishing rate. In the past half year, Little May had reached a level equivalent to about 4 promotions in the small world. To outsiders, Little May had just begun cultivating and didn't even count as a cultivator yet. Only those above the transcendent realm were considered cultivators. Now with the help of the dragon liver, Little May had broken through this threshold and begun advancing towards the transcendent realm. In the small world, this would be the time to awaken skills, but that was the rule of the small world and not the same as the origin continent. Moreover, Lin Moyu intentionally didn't let Little May cultivate any techniques, only letting her cultivate purely. As for techniques, once Little May absorbed the reincarnation treasure, she would naturally have them. There was no need to rush. Intense cold came from all directions. In a moment, Little May had become an ice person. Long Wei seemed to notice something. Miss Little May seems to possess a special constitution, though I can't tell what kind of constitution it is. Lin Moyu smiled and said, Little May is indeed somewhat special, but it's not convenient to say now. Please don't take offense, clan leader Long. Long Wei shook her head, everyone has secrets. How could I take offense? She changed the subject. This time the dragon race was able to escape calamity, all thanks to Mr. Lin. Previously when the Netherworld Race and 100 Herbs Alliance came, fortunately the three ancestors intervened in the end, avoiding the slaughter of our dragon race. Lin Moyu was very modest. With your clan's strength, as long as the ancestors in the dragon tomb awakened, you shouldn't have needed to fear them. Long Wei said, if Withering and Flourishing Elder hadn't made a move, naturally we wouldn't have needed to be afraid. We wouldn't even have needed to activate the dragon tomb. The 4 ancestors outside Dragon God City would have been enough to deal with them. Lin Moyu frowned, that old fellow made a move too. Long Wei nodded, we didn't know at first. It wasn't until the 3 ancestors arrived and called out Withering and Flourishing Elder's name that we realized Withering and Flourishing Elder had come too. I guess Withering and Flourishing Elder's purpose was to deal with our ancestral holy spirits. With a great Dao realm being eyeing them from behind, and most of the dragon race's forces tied up in the western paradise of ultimate bliss, they basically couldn't defend their territory. Fortunately the 3 ancestors arrived. The 3 ancestors didn't even need to make a move. Just standing there was enough that neither the Netherworld Race nor the 100 Herbs Alliance dared to act. The 3 ancestors' unfathomable depth made even the Beast Emperor and Withering and Flourishing Elder wary. Long Wei nodded. The 3 ancestors said it was because Mr. Lin completed a transaction with him that he came. I imagine the price Mr. Lin paid to move the 3 ancestors must have been high. Long Wei understood clearly what kind of person the 3 ancestors was. As a businessman, he would only act if the price was right. Lin Moyu smiled and said, it was a small matter, nothing really. Long Wei said, regardless, Mr. Lin's great kindness and virtue will be remembered by our dragon race. From now on, Mr. Lin will be our dragon race's most honored guest. If Mr. Lin doesn't mind, I would like to make Mr. Lin an honorary elder of our dragon race. The dragon race did indeed have a concept of honorary elders. Historically, not many people could become honorary elders of the dragon race. They could be counted on one's fingers. But what benefits came with becoming an honorary elder, no one really knew. Lin Moyu didn't immediately agree, because once he became an honorary elder, it meant he would be tied to the dragon race. He didn't know if it would affect his future plans regarding Antares. Moreover, his destiny would be influenced by the dragon race's destiny. Whether that was good or bad remained to be seen. Lin Moyu slowly said, regarding the honorary elder position, I'd like to hear more details from clan leader Long. Chapter 3259, 3259. Chapter 3259, Honorary Elder of the Dragon Race. Long Wei explained the details about honorary elders. The so-called honorary elder position could be said to be the highest honor the dragon race gives to outsiders, bar none. There were quite a few benefits to being an honorary elder. For example, one could obtain some cultivation resources from the dragon race each year, such as origin crystals and various rare materials. The dragon race's territory contains several origin spirit veins of no low grade. However, the dragon race itself didn't rely too much on origin spirit veins, which resulted in them having a large amount of origin crystals. It was the same for rare materials. The dragon race also didn't forge magical treasures and such, so various materials from dragon territory were in excess. Although the dragon race didn't use these things, it didn't mean they were foolish. They also knew the value of these items. Cultivation resources were just one of the benefits of being an honorary elder. There were some other benefits as well. An honorary elder's authority was equivalent to that of an elder within the dragon race. Elders were among the upper echelons of the dragon race, and only divine dragons could become elders. So once one became an honorary elder, sacred giant dragons and elemental giant dragons would all bow at their feet. In addition, when the dragon race's ancestral grounds opened, honorary elders were qualified to enter and bathe in the ancestral blood. The effects of the dragon race's ancestral blood were extremely powerful, with great benefits for cultivation. Long Wei didn't specify exactly how great the benefits were. In the past, the three ancestors and the Beast Emperor had bathed in the ancestral blood. After listening, Lin Moyu's thoughts raced. What he was thinking was different from what Long Wei had said. In Lin Moyu's eyes, whether origin crystals or rare materials, they were all dispensable things. As for status and position, he cared even less. Status and position were given by one's fists, not comparable to a mere title. What Lin Moyu really cared about was destiny. Becoming an honorary elder, to some extent, meant being connected to the dragon race. Part of the dragon race's destiny would fall on him. As long as nothing happened to the dragon race, his own destiny would certainly increase greatly. But if something happened to the dragon race, his destiny would be diminished as a result. The pros and cons needed to be weighed. The dragon race's crisis had just passed. In theory, they shouldn't face danger again in the short term. Lin Moyu had also observed the dragon race's destiny along the way. The dragon race's destiny was indeed very prosperous, no wonder the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch had targeted the dragon race's destiny first. But he thought even further, he thought of Antares. Antares might kill his way to the dragon race in the future. Although what Antares really wanted to kill was the dragon race in the Great Tao, not the dragon race on the origin continent. But the dragon race in the Great Tao would also affect the destiny of the dragon race on the origin continent. In that case, if he was an honorary elder of the dragon race, wouldn't he also be affected, thus diminishing his destiny? If the dragon race's destiny was damaged because of Antares, then the damaged portion of destiny would fall on Antares. But Antares was also a member of the dragon race, so in the end that destiny still belonged to the dragon race. Thinking of it this way, the whole matter became incredibly complicated and difficult to calculate. With Lin Moyu's current level of comprehension of the destiny Great Tao, he still couldn't truly calculate the gains and losses. After Long Wei finished speaking, seeing Lin Moyu in thought, she didn't rush him. With a crisp shattering sound, Little Mei finished absorbing the power in the dragon liver. At this point, Little Mei's realm was on the edge of breaking through to the transcendent realm. Just a little further and she would reach the transcendent realm. Long Wei watched in amazement. Normally, if Little Mei ate one portion of dragon liver, she would either explode and die, or her cultivation would skyrocket. Forget about the transcendent realm, reaching the next realm up would be normal. But Little Mei was different. She neither exploded and died, nor did her realm increase by much. It even made Long Wei doubt if the dragon liver she provided was fake. Lin Moyu looked at Little Mei. How do you feel? Little Mei said, I feel my power has increased a lot, but I'm still a bit hungry. Lin Moyu smiled and said, then eat a bit more. Little Mei obediently ate another portion of dragon liver and began absorbing again. At this time, Lin Moyu said to Long Wei, since clan leader Long has kindly invited me, Lin will not decline. Seeing Lin Moyu agree, a brilliant smile immediately appeared on Long Wei's face. She looked extremely happy and raised her wine cup. Then from now on, Mr. Lin is an honorary elder of our dragon race. After draining the cup in one gulp, Long Wei ordered Ao Luo, announce this matter, let all the elders know. At the same time, she took out a dragon scale. The scale was very exquisite, obviously refined, with 10 divine dragons engraved on it. Long Wei handed the dragon scale to Lin Moyu. Once Mr. Lin refines this dragon scale, you will have the dragon race's aura. Other dragon race members will be able to know Mr. Lin's status. Lin Moyu's soul power moved, falling onto the dragon scale. The dragon scale instantly burst with brilliant light. The next second, the dragon scale rapidly shrank and entered Lin Moyu's body. A unique aura surged from Lin Moyu's body. This aura was unique to the dragon race. Ordinary people couldn't detect it, but dragons could easily sense it. Dragons could judge someone's status through this aura. In other dragons' eyes, Lin Moyu was now a dragon race elder, an elder second only to the clan leader in status. The refinement was completed almost instantly. Long Wei couldn't help but look with shining eyes. Elder Lin, what a powerful soul. Lin Moyu's soul level was extremely high. His soul realm was not as high as Long Wei's, but in terms of the innate level of the soul itself, he far surpassed Long Wei. Lin Moyu's soul level had at least reached the 8th grade innate soul, comparable to Little Yu's innate jade soul. So he refined various magical treasures ridiculously fast. Lin Moyu chuckled lightly, just a coincidence. Can't compare to the clan leader. But Long Wei didn't think so. She said very seriously, with Elder Lin's potential, your future achievements are far beyond what we can imagine. So it's our honor that Elder Lin agreed to become an honorary elder of our clan. Lin Moyu smiled. Long Wei's words were just polite, not to be taken seriously. The group chatted happily as they drank. After absorbing the second portion of dragon liver, Little May successfully broke through to the transcendent realm, officially becoming a cultivator. But the higher her realm, the more Little May felt she couldn't eat enough. With Lin Moyu's approval, she continued eating dragon liver, constantly absorbing and digesting, her realm growing stronger and stronger. One portion of dragon liver wasn't much to begin with, and almost all of it went into Little May's stomach. Lin Moyu only tasted a small portion and didn't eat any more. The dragon liver was of little use to him. At his level, ordinary things could no longer provide help. Perhaps dragon liver from a great Dao realm being would be somewhat useful. Dragon liver from the Dao Venerable realm probably wouldn't be of much use. After all the dragon liver was eaten, Little May's realm was approaching the true God realm. A path that would take others hundreds of years to walk, Little May completed in the time it took to eat a meal. Lin Moyu knew very clearly that probably only Little May could do this in this world. Even Little Yu couldn't do it. Although Little Yu had an innate jade soul and no bottlenecks in cultivation, she still needed to constantly solidify her foundation. Only Little May didn't need to, because her foundation had already been solidified in her previous life. So in this life, as long as she had the opportunity, she could constantly improve. Lin Moyu smiled and said, "Clan leader, Lin has an unreasonable request." Long Wei said, "Please speak, Elder Lin. As long as Long Wei can do it, I won't refuse." Lin Moyu said, "I wonder when the ancestral grounds will open. Lin would like this disciple to also enter and bathe in the ancestral blood." Chapter 3260, 3260. Chapter 3260, the former child of the world who was sacrificed. Since Elder Lin has asked, of course there's no problem. Faced with Lin Moyu's unreasonable request, Long Wei agreed almost without any hesitation. Such a quick agreement actually surprised Lin Moyu a bit. As far as he knew, the dragon race's ancestral grounds were never open to outsiders. Only honorary elders like him could enter. He didn't expect Long Wei to agree so readily to let Little May enter. This way, he actually owed Long Wei a favor. Lin Moyu smiled and said, "The clan leader is truly decisive." Little May thanked clan leader Long Wei. At this time, Little May was feasting heartily. The more dragon liver she ate, the hungrier she felt. After finishing the dragon liver, she had targeted the other dishes. The dragon liver had raised her realm, and her body needed to replenish its strength. These dishes were all heavenly treasures, most suitable for nourishment. She was eating seriously when she suddenly heard Lin Moyu's words. Little May immediately stopped, wiped her mouth, stood up and bowed to Long Wei. "Little May thanks clan leader Long Wei." Long Wei seemed to like Little May very much. "Little May, are these dishes to your liking? If there's anything you want, just say so." Little May said, "They're delicious, very tasty. But I also have a question I want to ask." As she said this, she secretly glanced at Lin Moyu, as if wanting to get his approval. However, Lin Moyu had no reaction, neither opposing nor approving. Clearly, Lin Moyu had already guessed what Little May wanted to ask. He didn't want to interfere, letting Little May handle it herself. Long Wei smiled, "Whatever questions you have, feel free to ask." Little May had no guile and asked directly, "There are many ancestral spirits of the dragon race in the dragon tomb that can be awakened when needed. Are those ancestors all very strong?" Long Wei smiled and said, "Yes, our ancestral spirits are all very strong." Little May continued asking, "Teacher said the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch is at the Pseudo-Nine Wheels Unified Realm, which is the Pseudo-Great Tao Realm. If the ancestral spirits in the dragon tomb awakened, could they stop him?" Long Wei thought for a moment and shook her head slightly. "It's hard to say. Without fighting, who knows? But even if they can't stop him, the Three Lives Buddha Patriarch wouldn't have an easy time." Long Wei had previously indicated that the dragon tomb couldn't stop a Great Tao Realm being. Now it seemed stopping a pseudo-Great Tao Realm being wasn't a problem. It seems this was the Dragon Tomb's trump card, but the trump card was useless against Withering and Flourishing Elder. This time, if the three ancestors hadn't intervened, the clan would indeed have been in danger. Little May said, "Oh," and nodded, "I've finished asking." "Thank you, clan leader." Long Wei said, "Miss Little May has a straightforward personality and is so intelligent. Your future achievements will be limitless." Little May giggled, "Clan leader is too kind. It's all because my teacher taught me well." Long Wei smiled, "In a few days when the ancestral grounds open, Miss Little May can not only bathe in the ancestral blood, but also take a look in the Dragon Tomb." Little May didn't seem to have much concept of ancestral blood, but she was indeed very interested in the Dragon Tomb, really. "Then I must take a good look." At this point, Lin Moyu asked, "Is the ancestral ground coincidentally about to open?" Long Wei nodded, "We've been prepared for a long time. The ancestral grounds can be opened at any time. We just heard Elder Lin had come to the dragon race, so we wanted to wait for Elder Lin to arrive and enter the ancestral grounds together to bathe in the ancestral blood. As for what effect the ancestral blood has, Elder Lin will need to experience it personally. Everyone gets different benefits. I don't know what benefits Elder Lin will gain. But I can assure you, it will certainly be all benefit and no harm." Lin Moyu smiled and said, "You're too kind. Then Lin will wait." After the banquet, Long Wei arranged accommodation for Lin Moyu. She then went alone to a secret location where an enormous divine dragon lay. The divine dragon seemed to be dozing, its body rising and falling rhythmically, naturally emitting a heavy pressure. The pressure it emitted was even stronger than Long Wei's, and its realm was clearly above Long Wei's. Long Wei came before the divine dragon and bowed, "Elder Sheng, he has become an honorary elder." Elder Sheng didn't open his eyes, but said in a low voice, I sense the change in destiny. Our destiny has grown stronger." Long Wei said softly, "I never imagined one person's destiny could be comparable to our entire clan's." Elder Sheng's voice lowered further, with a hint of ancientness, "In this world, there are always some special people. Their existence cannot be measured by common sense. In that former era, there once appeared a child of the world. The child of the world's destiny occupied 1/3 of the entire origin continent. Our dragon race couldn't compare at all." Long Wei said, "Child of the world, with such strong destiny, surely they would have achieved the great Dao realm." Elder Sheng chuckled, "No, he died in that great calamity." Long Wei was stunned, with such strong destiny, why would he still die? Elder Sheng said, "In that great calamity, many great Dao realm beings died. This world nearly shattered. As the child of the world, isn't it normal for him to die? Moreover, he occupied so much destiny. If he didn't die, who else should have died?" Long Wei seemed to understand, the world chose to sacrifice the child of the world to save itself. Elder Lin's destiny is so strong, will he also ultimately be sacrificed by the world? Elder Sheng finally opened his eyes. His huge dragon eyes carried a slightly murky light as he looked towards the distant sky, who knows? The origin continent is already incomplete, yet he possesses such strong destiny. Whether the world will devour him, or he will devour this world, who can know the final outcome? "Little Wei, do you understand why we must make him an honorary elder?" Long Wei wasn't very certain. Elder Sheng wants to borrow his destiny. Elder Sheng chuckled, "That's only part of it. Him becoming an honorary elder ties his destiny to our clan, benefiting both sides. No matter what happens in the future, at least for now, we can use his destiny to solve some problems. Moreover, the stronger he is, the more benefit for us. If one day in the future he truly reaches the great Dao realm and transcends this world, the benefits his destiny brings us will be even greater." Hearing this, Long Wei was suddenly shocked. She somewhat understood why they had to make Lin Moyu an honorary elder. It seemed to be all benefit and no harm for the dragon race. Elder Sheng continued, "Him becoming an honorary elder is also beneficial for him. Our dragon race's destiny is not weak, so it's equally beneficial for him. And he can also bathe in the ancestral blood, which will bring unexpected benefits." Long Wei nodded, "Elder Lin is very clever. If it wasn't beneficial for him, he definitely wouldn't have agreed. And he has a good relationship with the three ancestors. We can't offend the three ancestors either." Elder Sheng said, "This time when the ancestral grounds open, we can try to have him help solve the Dragon Tomb problem. This problem has dragged on for too long. If not resolved soon, it will cause big trouble." Long Wei said, Good, I had that idea too, but hadn't brought it up yet. Elder Sheng said. Also, pay attention to that little girl by his side. Protect her well, especially when Lin Moyu isn't around. You must protect her. Long Wei was stunned. Is there something special about her? Elder Sheng said. Why do you think Lin Moyu took her as a disciple? And do you know what that thing he got back from the Buddhist clan is? Long Wei shook her head, indicating she didn't know. Elder Sheng chuckled. That's a reincarnation treasure.